Welcome to Pew Pew Bang, a video game podcast that's also a slumber party. We're talking games, we're sharing stories, we're dishing out life advice. My name is Kelsey Lewin. Joining me, we've got Janet Garcia.
Hello.
Haley Maclean.
Hi.
And Sarah Podzorski.
Wah wah wee wah. Wah wah wee wah.
Wah wah wee wah. First of all, we're recording this on the same day that we launched the first episode of the show. So we are still kind of riding the high of all the nice things people have said about the show and its concept. And just want to do a quick shout out. Thank you guys for listening and sharing. We appreciate it a whole lot. But today we're talking what happens when gamers go outside.
Dun, dun, dun.
The touch grass
That's
episode.
Right.
It's a myth.
We're talking video game conventions and just conventions in general, I guess. Maybe some game trade shows too. For me, early spring always makes me think of conventions because that's when convention season starts for me. In Seattle, we've got Emerald City Comic Con and Sakura Con that are kind of back to back. Some years they are literally back to back, which is horrible. So it's a busy time for me. And I've done a lot of conventions in my life, which we'll get to later. But I want to start with an easy softball for everyone to get us started, which is, what is your favorite game favorite convention? Doesn't have to be a game convention. What is your favorite convention?
What do y'all think? I feel like I go to more shows. That's also like a kind of a...
Like trade shows?
Yeah, like there's this distinction, I suppose, but they're kind of the
That's
same category.
true. But what would you consider like SGF, Summer Game Fest? That's not a convention. It's more of like
That's a trade show.
an event. Yeah, more of like a trade show.
But there's always
Yeah.
booths selling cute stuff at those things, too. So
Oh,
like,
they're selling stuff at SGF?
maybe, like
No,
oh,
not yet.
I'm thinking more like GDC and
Like
and
E3, even E3 though.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of E3, they didn't
Not
have like.
really, though. There's not like an artist alley or like a
No.
commerce area
feel like
of those shows.
Best place to buy stuff.
I did buy something
really
there
like,
though, so you can buy stuff.
What
I
did
bought a
you
Splatoon pillow
buy?
at E3. A Splatoon pillow that I no longer have because I'm like, I don't need the Splatoon Inkling pillow. But they had like
Wait,
one.
Nintendo had like, they were selling
It was
stuff?
like third party or something. Yeah. Like at least
Did you
towards
find
the
up
end.
the streets of LA, Janet? Was there just like
No,
a
like,
random tent set up?
Janet,
I
I
was
know
in
what you're
that,
talking
like-
about.
Yeah.
Is it that weird like hallway that is just like third-party vendors and licensors and stuff like that?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It's like there's like one little like tiny indie section too because there's like no indie presence at E3 at the time.
Yeah.
Back when E3 existed. We're up to E3. That was
R.I.P.
2019.
It's that shady
the last
corner
one.
where they like don't turn the lights
Yeah.
on fully next to the Bang booth.
Yeah,
No, that's
I was like, how
Kentia
can
Hall.
I remember this? How can I remember? Yeah. I was like, how can I remember this? Let me buy something. But yeah, largely they don't have anything. Though in the E3 example, that was also like a year or two after they started having like more public days available. So I think they're like, oh my God, we have
Oh,
people
yeah.
here. We could sell things to them. And then also me for some reason. Because I was like,
Yeah.
kind of odd.
To me, the distinction is just like, I feel like that's the shortest way, is like, is there literally anything to buy? Because I think there's always like that one random booth that does sell stuff even at trade shows. But like, is this a show where you buy things, or is this a show where you're like doing some level of work kind of thing?
Have you ever gone to a convention and not worked, Kelsey? Or have you only ever gone and worked?
Do
Do you have
my
fun,
God.
Kelsey?
I'm trying to think, like, yes, when I was a teenager, but I'm trying to think if, like, as an adult, I have. There've definitely been some shows I've gone to where, like, the level of work was basically nothing. MagFest falls under that. There've been a couple of shows where, like, all I've done is, like, one little easy panel with some people, and I otherwise didn't have to work all weekend, so kind of, but I don't know the last time I, like, paid to go to a convention that I didn't do anything at all at. Maybe some small ones, like some small retro game ones.
Yeah. Even then, you're probably still brain like, oh, I could buy that and sell it.
Yeah, I'm
you
still
know.
buying
Still
things for the
working.
story, you're right.
I think
Yeah.
mine might be E3, if that counts, because I only went to one E3. I went to 2017 E3. And it's like, that was the year that it went public, too. So I don't even know what the vibes were like when it was press only. But as, you know, crowded as it was, and as, you know, gamer BO as it was at times and stuff, it was so fun. There was like a reverence to it that made you like excited to be there. And I remember I used the picture of me in front of the E3 sign on my Tinder for like when I was on Tinder. Catnip. That was
Oh, I bet.
that was boy catnip right there. That worked well.
I
That's
remember
the kind of
like
boy catnip I did not want and did not put on my dating profile.
But did you guys like watch E3 growing up? Because like for me,
yeah.
it was always during summer holiday, so like I didn't have any school, and I remember sitting in my pajamas, just on my laptop, like trying to watch the live streams, like not knowing what was like looking at like the IGN like times and trying to see what that would be in Wisconsin. And then when I finally got to go to E3, I was like, this is it. I've made it. You know, like this is all I wanted since I was in like middle school. I'm like, we're finally here. I can't wait. And then it died like 2 years later.
And then it
So
died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I may have gone to the most amount of E3s of you guys, but that just, I started in, I think, 2016 or 2015, so like not much longer. I only went to a few as well. So it was 2019 the last year?
yes.
Yeah.
That was my first and last E3. So I was like, all right, grand opening, grand closing, you know? But Sarah,
And that was
same,
the
like
one. When did PlayStation didn't go to that one, right? Or did they
Correct.
also not go
They
to 2018?
Correct.
they were not at 20...
That was a big deal.
Oh, I forget. But they definitely were not 2019. I feel like they were
I think
2018.
they were still at 2018. It was it Xbox
Yeah.
that wasn't at 2018? One of them was doing a separate thing.
That's when the
year.
popular kids were leaving the party, and then everyone else followed. Sort of energy.
Yeah. 'Cause I remember in 2019, that was one of the conversations where people were like, you see this big space that's like kind of awkward? That's where PlayStation would have been.
See
And
that
it was,
shady,
you know,
that shady spot over by the Bang booth where the Bang girls are dancing? That's where PlayStation used to be. And like,
Yeah.
it's like what? They're like
and now the
dancing on
Bang girls
grave.
are dancing on the grave. Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Wait,
but
does
same
Bang
Sarah.
still
Like,
exist?
I think so. Yes,
right?
it's got to,
We gotta
right?
get them on the pod.
I've seen it.
I used to see. There was a period of time where you could not ignore the Bang energy drinks, and I just realized that I don't think I've seen one in a while.
Sponsor?
Maybe they got in a
Sponsor?
lawsuit. I feel like I remember seeing some messy lawsuits with Bang.
Uh-oh.
Of all the companies to get lawsuits, you're telling me Bang energy drinks had lawsuits?
I gotta hunt for them online, see if they're still doing things.
Janet's locked in right now, looking them up. No one is
Big
saying
ever-
energy drink.
Is everyone's favorite E3, and is it just because like that felt like the you made it moment? Is that
It did have a
was
you
so
made it
big.
moment. Yeah.
It was so larger than life. Like the booths, like I think Nintendo in 2019 did like a Luigi's Mansion. We all got our
Yes.
we got our flashlights from there.
I'm ready.
Kelsey's
I'm
got
ready.
a flashlight.
I forgot
They
to
were
grab
like
ready with
mine.
my
true
Luigi's Mansion
interactive
flashlight.
experiences. Like there was like a fake Pokemon arena for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and like
Yeah.
like the booths were larger than life. Everything was incredible. We just don't have that anymore, right? Because
No.
booths are so expensive.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
They
how
are so
expensive they were. But I
also
work-
I mean, I
has-
can give you guys
Do you
some hard
know?
numbers on some of these because
Oh.
I buy booths at some of these shows. So
That's so fun. Yeah.
I can tell you that, let's see, PAX West or PAX, yeah, they're calling it PAX West now, is like, it goes up exponentially. So you can get up to a 10 by 30, and that's like $8,000 or $9,000, but then it starts going up exponentially from there. So the next size up is like 20 grand, and then it's like 40 grand, and that's just the space. And I won't do the behind the scenes thing this whole time, but the most expensive part about the conventions, at least in my experience, is for booths over a certain size, which is most of them at most of these events, you do have to pay like union workers to load in and load out your stuff, and they charge by the pound. And so if you have, let's say, display cases or, metal shelves or just anything that weighs anything, just them moving them in and out can cost you in the tens of thousands of dollars.
By the pound feels crazy. How is that? How is it not like, I guess they'd have no idea what you're going to bring in, so there's more effort. I guess I kind of get it, but that's crazy.
It's just wild. Yeah, it's a very, I don't know that I have like a better way of doing it other than hey, please let us unload our own stuff, please. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I guess they got to figure out a way to charge you somehow.
Makes you appreciate those massive statues they had. Like Overwatch
Yeah.
had that giant Reaper one or something. I remember the year I was there, and then there was a giant monster was it for a Monster Hunter? Probably. It was literally
Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Giant
Monster Hunter
dragon.
always has a giant one.
It was like
And you
the
also have
size
to
of
pay
it
for like
actually.
storage. So
Yeah.
all of those
No.
booths, because like I know for our booth when I worked at E3 in 2018, we also did Anime Expo. So you have to pay the company who made the booth to store the booth for you, bring the booth, and then like break it down, put it back up, all that kind of stuff between conventions.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And shipping stuff to the convention center, if it gets there even a day before load-in starts, every day of that is a cost as well. So the convention center
And
will
what's
like
crazy
receive
about
giant packages. but-
E3, or at least E3 for me, is like they don't let you start setting up immediately. And then when they do, they would put up these huge floor-to-ceiling black curtains. Have you seen these?
No.
Yeah.
It's a floor-to-ceiling black curtain to hide everybody else's booth of games that haven't been announced yet.
Oh.
That's
So
so
you walk
cool.
in to the E3 convention hall, and like we were right next to Nintendo. They had security all around, and all you could see was a floor-to-ceiling black curtain. And we had a floor-to-ceiling black curtain around our booth, and it was like the security was super tight, like to get in there. And then you had like this time that you could do anything, and they accounted for everybody who was on the floor
Interesting.
before E3 like officially opened.
Wow.
That's like even another level than anything I've done because you know I've gone to E3 and stuff, but just as like press, like not as someone working in an actual booth. And yeah, I mean, I've seen that once before at PAX because there've been like a couple of years where something is announced at PAX. I don't think it's happened in years at this point, but maybe in like 2016 or something like that, where there were some booths that had security and like covers over everything. But yeah, that's wild, but also makes a lot of sense because otherwise, I mean, why not immediately leak everything? They're pretty strict at PAX about taking photos, and I imagine they're way like if, I don't know, Sarah, if you can speak to this, but are they like put your phone away if you got your phone out?
It was a little scary. I mostly hung out where our booth was because they were like showing us where everything was and like what we were gonna do and stuff. But like you would leave that curtain and there was just this like really heavy feeling of like, you know, the Secret Service is there, like don't look too suspicious.
Oh, it's like when you go
I
into a
didn't steal
store with
anything.
when you go into a store and you're the only one in there and you're like, trust me, I'm not taking anything, and you don't want to buy anything, so you have to leave empty-handed. You're like, I swear to God.
It's definitely the show that I felt the most emotions around, I guess. Like just being like, oh, I'm here. I think it was the first year I went. There was like, it was just a lot bigger than a lot of the ones that I had been to, in a sense where they were. It was before they had started letting the public in, and so they were still really treating everybody. It was like the last gasp of still that kind of like 90s era, 2000s era, making the people who were there feel special and like they want to connect with your game on an emotional level. So like I just remember the 2K booth, they were doing Mafia 3 at the time, and they had like food trucks outside the event in several spots, and they were like free fried alligator, free gumbo, like play Mafia 3, talk about Mafia 3. And I was like, what in the heck? Like I pay $18 for a hot dog when I'm at PAX or whatever, you know? Like this is wild to me that I'm getting free Cajun food just for existing here. But as much as I love E3, I actually think my favorite convention personally is the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which is one I have been doing since 2013, I think.
Wow. Every year?
And it's every year, other than, you know, COVID year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still is a really good convention, especially, I mean, obviously if you're into retro games, it's amazing. But I think even if you're not, it's just kind of like the biggest and the best vibes for one of those. There's over 200 vendors. There's a ton of free play stuff, free play like rare machines and pinball. They get really great guests to come out and talk about game history and their careers and stuff like that. And there's always a couple of cool showcases too. I mean, I used to help run the museum that the Video Game History Foundation would put on, but there's like they built like a mini Blockbuster inside of it for the last couple of years. I mean, it's just there's just cool stuff there, and the vibes are great. And part of it, I'm sure, is just that I've been going for over a decade. But I think that is, if you have to go to one retro game show, that's the one I would go to. Cool. And it's kind of weird that it's in Portland, of all places. It's kind of a random place. Like Seattle's
that's
never really
Portland's
had
vibe,
one.
though.
Yeah, but you would think that like Seattle would have one that has kind of taken off and gotten to similar heights, but like never and not even close, you know? Like it's Portland. It's Portland, and then like the next best one is in Milwaukee. So it is very strange. They seem like random places.
Yeah, that's cool. I gotta check that one out because I've never been to that one, and I feel like sometimes the retro stuff can be kind of the best for, I think, also just perusing and consuming a lot of stuff that you might not otherwise see or like be as familiar with. E3 definitely has like the most like clout and excitement for like covering it, and it's like the big show and everything. But I think my favorite probably is probably PAX West. Yeah, probably PAX West. Because East is still broken up weirdly, which I don't like. I don't think I'm mixing those up. And I think it's just because of the indie game scene. Like, I just like being able to, obviously I'm pressed, so I do get, you know, the ability to make appointments, which makes it easier to, you know, see a larger amount of games because you can walk up and they either have a station for you or they kick someone like off, which I prefer if it's just a station set up so I don't feel like I'm getting in people's way. But even outside of that, like the lines are never too wild for the indie stuff specifically. Like, of course, you know, larger games will have big lines.
You don't really have to be pressed to enjoy the indie games at really any of these shows, but especially like PAX has a huge amount of them, and I don't get to leave my booth much, but it does not seem like there are lines for a lot of these booths.
No, it's like if there's a line, 10, 15 minutes or something, especially depending on how like big the area is. Like if there's like several stations, there might be almost no wait time. Also just, depends on little things. Like everyone runs their booth differently, which I do wish there was a little bit more like information as someone walking up to things like, hey, is this a time demo? Or should I just like politely leave after a certain amount of time? I think things like that can sometimes add to wait time unnecessarily. It's like, I don't think you gotta play 30 minutes of a game to know if you're feeling the vibes. But
I always feel bad like putting it down and then like awkwardly staring and then walking away.
That's
when like other people, I'm like, should I leave now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wish that was a little bit more, at least, like not organized, but just like front facing, or that people like had that set up going in. But I think it's just a cool time to just peruse and see what's up, and you get to have like face-to-face time potentially with the people directly making the game, which is really cool. Like they'll be like, hey, I worked on this. Like, what do you know? It's also the first time for some of these developers that the public is playing their game. So there's a lot of like excitement and energy around that. Obviously a lot of stress and work from the developers as well. Like there will be devs who are like, I'm fixing the build like every night at the hotel and bringing it back. And it's like, obviously that has its own struggles and maybe problems within the industry. But it's really cool to just like get to check out a bunch of different stuff and like see what's going on, and to get the like, it's like the immediate feeling of, in regular life, you might hear, Sarah might play something and recommend it to me, and that's fine and fair. But what's cool about being at PAX is like, that'll happen in real time. Someone will be like, oh, have you played like such and such a game? Oh, it's over there. Okay, yeah. People have been telling me about that. And I think that's kind of what's nice about events like that. It kind of puts the experience of gaming into a compressor, and you just like get it as like one big shot, which also makes them very tiring as well, from whether you're consuming or running it.
Is it hard to remember everything you've played? Like, are you taking crazy notes when you're doing that?
Yeah. I mean, I think grabbing business cards and stuff can help a lot too. Like I'll do that as a reminder. But yeah, I'll usually take notes or pictures just on my phone of like what I played.
That's smart.
Whatever makes it easiest.
The visual thing I think is smart because you can only look at so many games called like Swish or Blank's Dynasty or something like that.
Zabufu too. Yeah. You're like, what was that? Like, I don't know. Who made that?
It's like little guy jump man, and you're like, okay.
Honestly, like that would be my game of the show. Little Guy Jump Man. Hell yes.
There was I can't even remember the name of the game or what the game was about, but there was an indie game at PAX, I think last year, where the main character of it is just like a little, I think his name is Chompy, and he's just like a little guy with a cute little smile and tiny little dots for eyes, and I was like, I love this guy, and I got a plushie of him, and I don't even remember what the name is called. I was like, it's a little guy. He's such a good little guy. But to Janet, to your point about like the in real time recommendation thing, I think that also makes conventions a really good place to just like, you're just gonna wind up with some small talk with random people. I'm not gonna say like, oh, you're gonna make lifelong friends there. It's not always that easy, but like, it is an extremely easy icebreaker to just be like, have you played blank yet? Or like, what's the coolest game you've seen so far at the show? Like, it is it's one of the few places where like the small talk socialization is just like the script's already laid out for
It's
you.
so
Like
nice.
it's easy. Everyone's
Yeah.
expecting it. It's just you can talk to anyone and you have a starting thing and it's easy.
And it doesn't have to be weather. It can just be games right away. You
Yeah.
can just skip all that.
Yeah.
Everyone plays a game here. Everyone likes games. Let's just talk about that. Go.
Exactly.
What about you, Sarah?
Okay,
What was
so-
yours? Did we get Sarah?
Ugh, mine, I was thinking really hard about mine. I was like, what is mine? And I think it's like, it's all of the conventions that I didn't have to work at. Because most of the conventions I've been there, like at E3, I was like working a booth and doing social media. So that's like 7 a.m. to midnight,
Oh my
you know,
God.
in the convention hall until I throw you out. And then like I've worked at TwitchCon, I've worked at PAX East, all doing social media. Which just means that like you're forced to like mingle around the booth and take photos of people having a better time than you, and you don't get a lot of time to actually like go off and enjoy the convention unless you have like a really great team or something like that. But like usually when you're social media, like you're a one-man show for all these things. So that's why I feel like I like SGF so much. Is because it's so you get coddled so much at SGF. Like Jeff Keighley takes you into his arms, and he feeds you like those free drink tokens like a baby bird, and he's like, "Shh, play some like I Am 8-Bit Indies and like Day of the Dev Indies in these plush chairs in this warm LA weather. Like get off your feet! What are you doing? Like oh here take some free swag." And I'm like, this is great. I've never
sounds
been.
great.
Usually I'm the one like whining and dining people at conventions. It's so nice for things to be reversed.
Yeah. GDC's kind of becoming like that, eh? Like, I don't know, Janet, you and I were there last year. It's you kind of have to know of the events afterwards, but we went to that Xbox mixer thing. And the drinks the drinks were great, and there's like, and it's not just your drinking, but like all the indie games are set up around you. Like if you want to play them, you could. And Jeff Keighley's over in the corner. You're like, that's Jeff Keighley over there. Wow, that's kind of fun. And you like the vibes are just kind of exciting, but
It's
mostly
getting crazy in here.
Jeff Keighley's taking
Anything
shots.
can happen.
here.
Wow. Yeah, Jeff Keighley doing body shots all the time. I was kind of thinking that. Whoa, I didn't know it was that kind of party. No, but yeah, it definitely has. There's like fun to it.
Yeah.
for sure.
It's not all business. You
feel
think
like-
it's going to be pure business, but there's an element of like pseudo fun to that show lately, the last few years.
I think, but before we give everyone extreme FOMO, like I went to several E3s. I've been to a couple of GDCs and stuff like that. These are not like, at least in my experience, it was not like you're in the game industry, now all the cool stuff happens to you. Like I went to the Bethesda, what did they call those shows at E3? Like the Nintendo Direct but for each,
The press conference, the kind of like
just the conference,
The
I guess. Yeah.
conference,
So
yeah.
I went to the Bethesda press conference once, and that is the only one I was ever invited to ever the entire 4 or 5 years I did E3. Like it's not like most people don't go to these things, and I still don't get invited to a lot of these things. And so I don't think it's accurate to be like, oh, I mean, maybe at SGF, just like in general, once you're there, they take care of you. I have not been yet, but
They do. Are you going this year? Have you
I am, yeah.
decided? Oh, you'll
Yeah.
see. Oh, you'll come back and you'll be singing
Okay,
a
well,
different
Jeff
tune,
Keighley
Kelsey.
takes care of me, apparently. But in general, when you go to these shows, I mean, it is just like, you are just kind of on your own, and it is entirely like, have you made enough of the correct connections and networking to even hear about some of these things going on? And I was years and years into my career before I started getting like a small little handful of any
Yeah.
of those, you know?
Yeah, I'm 8 years in now to like working in gaming, and it's like now I get invited to like the Xbox event, and I'm like, yes, free drinks.
You've made
Like,
it.
but it takes
Shots of Keighley.
forever because I went to GDC in 2016 when I was like a college kid. Nobody wants to talk to you. People would look upon you with disgust. They'd look at you, look at your badge, and they'd be like, ew, and unemployed. Like, I don't want to talk to this person.
Yeah.
And
I was
those
like,
were
oh.
the vibes. Those were the
Yeah.
vibes at E3 for a little bit too,
Yeah.
when they started letting the public in. They gave the public, I distinctly remember this, they gave
my
the public
God.
different colored badges,
Yep.
and people were weird and snooty about
Yep.
it.
they
When
were.
I was working
And-
at E3, people would be like, can you believe that they're letting the public in? And I'm like, the public is honestly having more fun than you at my booth.
And the public's
So,
buying our
yes.
games.
Yeah,
So.
and you know what? The public is nice to me, and they enjoy like the public like they were so excited to be there, right? And then I felt like a lot of the legacy journalists would take it for granted, and they were a little jaded about the whole thing. But yeah, I don't to each their own. But I definitely think the public aspect of E3 was a good thing.
It's too bad it didn't save it, because that was really what that was for, right?
Yeah, I think it's easy for, I guess, like, you don't want to go too far in either direction, right? Where it's like, it's not exactly all like, so incredible that like, wow, after all these years of like hard work and low pay, I now get a free coffee. It's like, not gonna lie, free coffee, it do be hitting. Like, I'll take the free coffee. But, it's not exactly gonna be at the crux of, why we're in this industry, regardless of like the sector it is. Or the angle that we come from. But at the same time, it is good to like enjoy those things and I think be excited about them and have fun with them and try to, as much as you can, sort of reinvigorate that love for it. Because to your point, Sarah, yeah, there's definitely a lot of like bitter people in the industry. Because, you do it so often, I think you become disillusioned by it. You're like, I don't know, like another work flight. And I'm like, I took more flights as an adult working in this industry than I ever like did in my whole life. I went on a plane like 2 times before being an adult. Now, obviously, again, like different sectors you might have that you might not. If you're freelance, no one's probably flying you out, but yeah, they might have, depending if you're working for an outlet or something. But yeah, it's good to enjoy those little highs, but it's also good, especially for people listening who aren't in the industry, to know that like that's not every day, right? It's like and it also takes a lot of time to get there as well, where it's like you sort of have to just one day you're on the right person's list, and now you get the direct email. While like a lot of stuff I get to go to, it is through like, other company, MinnMax or whatever, where it's like, okay, someone there put the company I work for on there, and then my name got jotted down, and boom, and I'm there, Hey, and whatever gets you in there. I'm not saying one's, but
Oh my God, when I went to
direct
Tokyo
lines.
Game Show for the first time, when I was in Japan, I was on like the A4 Play podcast, right? This was back in 2017. We had to lie to get into TGS because they didn't like know what a podcast was. So we had to, one of us had to be a journalist and the other person had to claim to be a photographer to get in on like media days. So we would go up to like the little check-in desk and we would give our best like photographer and journalist impression, because they were very rigorous at TGS, like more so than any trade show I've been to, on if you were actually press or not. They took that very, very seriously. So it's like, okay, like, what do we do if they want to see like your camera? Like, what do we do if we have to pull up articles or something that we've apparently written? And it's like, we had a podcast, so like we'd be allowed anywhere else. But for whatever reason, TGS, our home convention, it always felt like I was some kind of fraud.
What would they ask
I do remember.
Well, I think they would just ask, like, what outlet do you work for? Like, show us proof of your work. Like, and the podcasts just aren't a thing, or like weren't a thing maybe back then in Japan. So you have to be like,
we just
please
talk.
believe me.
I do remember for applying for E3, I had to make fake business cards because they required you to upload a business card. And I was like, I don't have one of those, but
I feel like it's a super old thing.
Yeah.
As long as you print
it's
one,
probably just that.
That's valid, right? You could just print one on computer paper and
Every business
That's
card
exactly what I did.
doesn't exist until you print it out.
Yeah.
We've all hit that
Exactly what I
Staples
did.
stuff.
Did not carry those. No, going to Staples is too that would be actually printing them. I'm not gonna actually get these business cards made. But so okay, what do you guys think is the best, like, if you've never been to a convention before, where do you start? Like, how do you figure out what convention would be a good first time one?
I feel like you might be the best one to answer this, Kelsey, because yours are very like public folk. Like, someone could go to a retro game show and have a ton of fun, whereas someone in the public might go to GDC and be like, "What the hell am I doing here?"
Oh yeah, don't go to GDC.
Completely opposite.
I love GDC.
Do not go to GDC.
I
spent
GDC is
$2,000 and nobody wants to talk to me.
Unless you're a game developer looking for a publisher. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's like,
or
do not
looking
go to
for a
GDC.
job.
Or a job.
Because they do. There is a lot of like hiring there and stuff too. But yeah, that one's very much a businessy business convention.
Yeah.
The few times I've been to GDC, I was basically just talking to people about. I went with the Video Game History Foundation when I was there, and it was basically just like, find someone who looks old and start asking questions about their career. So It was a lot of
GDC's
talking.
so weird. Because here's the thing about GDC. It's like it's supposed to be about the talks, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what they say. And then I feel like 80% of the people who have tickets aren't at the talks. They're at various restaurants all around the convention center having business meetings.
Absolutely.
So like you can't talk to those people and they're not going, and the talks are just like, they feel like kind of like fake in some way to like legitimize GDC while everyone else is like handshaking off in a corner.
Absolutely. Like
The talks are good though.
they're really good. Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
love
talks
their
are really good.
They're fantastic. But it's true that like the
But I wish people
that are making
could actually, more
deals,
people could go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my firm booked, like, it wasn't, I say my firm, it's just my boss and I who go. I kind of just run around and network. He lets me off my leash. I get to have fun. It's great. I get to do whatever I want. But he, like, that's exactly what he does, Sarah, is he goes to the nearest hotel that has, like, a nice restaurant. The place where we went with Isaiah Janet, actually, last year.
it was really
for the
good.
meal. Wasn't
Is
that
it like
nice?
the Marriott?
It's the one
Where
down the
is it?
street. I can't remember which
I don't
hotel
know.
it was.
It
was
looked
really
like bougie
nice.
though when you went in.
Bougie.
I ate there twice because I was like, "Yo, this is hitting."
So
Janet, okay, we need to talk about Janet and bougie hotel restaurants that she's always drawn to.
You guys stayed at that restaurant, and if there's oysters on the menu, Sarah, I'm gonna order the oysters. I don't know. I don't get what the
love a
issue
little
is.
oyster. But
I
yeah,
love bougie hotel restaurants. I'm with you.
they're always so good. But what they do, which is so annoying, is they charge like a GDC fee. And it's like just to sit there and eat your meal, they tack on an extra 15, 20 bucks. Because they know how
Yeah.
busy it is.
No, that makes so much sense though, because the joke or whatever has always been like, yeah, you don't even have to buy a ticket to GDC. You just go hang out in the hotel lobbies and start talking
Yeah.
to
And
people,
just
because
talk
that's
to
where
people.
everyone's just hanging out drinking.
It's
In the
true.
lobbies of the hotels that are across the street instead. I mean, there's lots of people on the floor too, but it really does feel like that is what people are doing, is just drinking in hotel lobbies. So I do not blame the hotels for being like, screw you guys, you're all just going to sit here and nurse one margarita all day. Like,
And
no.
make a $1 million deal while we
Yeah.
how dare you? But yeah, we essentially booked a table for the whole day. But like my boss just sat there the whole day and just had meeting after meeting after meeting. Like that's how he does GDC. He wakes up, doesn't even go to this. Like you might go to one or two talks. He gave a talk a couple of years in a row, but then he just sits down in a booth at the nearby hotel and just sits there. And people show up for the meeting. They got the little sign on it that says like reserved for voyeur. So it's like, oh, fancy. It's like, and that works. That's like the way he does GDC, which is so the opposite of how I do it. It's funny how even in the exact same profession, it's like, you can do that show so differently from other people. But don't
Yeah.
go to it unless you're a game dev. You will not like it. You will be bored.
I think
Don't
it's
go to
mostly
it
just
unless
'cause
someone
the
else is
ticket-
paying for it.
Yeah, it's also very expensive.
It's
Is
so
the thing.
expensive.
It is.
But the talks are like really incredible. Like I loved, I'm like a nerd, which I think people kind of already knew, but like I love like the academic stuff. So it's like, oh, it's like I'm in college again. Like I can go to my, but just like college, it's like, ooh, what time's that class? Hold on. Like I missed the Spider-Man animation panel because I wanted to wash my hair. And I'm like, by the time it dries, I just am not going to be able to make it.
the GDC guild
You're
is
like,
crazy.
I'll watch it online. You're
like,
like,
oh,
I'll
they
watch
do-
it online.
That is the
Ben
thing.
went.
They
He's
do
like, no one
actually
was
post-
there. And I'm like, I was showering. Like, I couldn't go. Sorry.
They do post most of the talks too, though. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
at some point.
if you miss them, it's
I think-
not so bad.
To your original question, Kelsey, I think the best one to go to, it definitely depends on what you're into, because I do think that, PAX is, bigger than like, or like, it offers something different than like Point Retro Gaming Expo, which you mentioned. But I think the low key zag is to just look at, I know for some people, the less urban your area is, less bigger areas, the less options you have. But I think just kind of look in your area and look for like a smaller convention just to get like a taste of it. I know my
Totally.
first convention ever, I think technically I went to like something that Chicago had. I forgot the name of it, but like I did go to one thing at one point. But the real one I think of is Midwest Gaming Classic, was like one of my first ones.
Yeah.
Pretty small convention. It's got like a bunch of, Kelsey, I know you're familiar with it. It's got like a good retro area and some other things.
That is
but
not
it's very
a small
like,
convention.
it feels small to me.
It's
Is it not-
it's small compared to
know.
like PAX or E3, but like that is big for a retro gaming convention. That is like
Okay, that's
one of
fair. You know the
bigger
scene
ones.
way more than I do, but yeah, I think that one's is maybe not as small as like you can go, but it's less readily discussed. And I really love that expo. I'd love to like go back sometime, but it kind of gave at least me going that rush of, okay, you're seeing like different booths, like you can talk to like publishers directly, you can get hands on with some games, you can also see like a lot more of these little local slices. of what people do. So I think it gives you like a really nice breadth of like what a convention can kind of be. And like and there's also like a lot of stuff to buy. Like I had a lot of fun doing that. Like that was my why can't I always feel this alive like moment at conventions. I remember going there when I was still teaching at the time, already doing game content, but just kind of on the side and being like, man, this is like, oh, if every day could have this rush, you know? So yeah, I really like that kind of thing. So I think as small as you can go, you know, it makes it easier for you to get there, and also, you know, saves you maybe a little bit of money before you commit to something like a PAX. If you don't live in the area, it's like, you want to get a good hotel downtown, that's going to be priced, the flight, you know, it gets, and then, well, what are you going to eat while you're there? You know, it gets expensive really quick. Obviously there's ways to cheapen it, but yeah, I think starting small and kind of seeing, do you like this kind of thing? Because I think you'll know pretty quickly if it's up your alley.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I actually do think that even if you're not super into retro games, I think that one of those kinds of shows is a really great place to start. Or if you're just not that into retro games like at all, another good one would be like a smaller anime convention. We have SakuraCon here, which is like, it's fairly big in that just the Seattle Convention Center is a big convention center, but it's not like a wall to wall, you know, you're gonna be completely surrounded in a sea of people kind of convention. It's just like there's a lot to do and a lot to see in it. And I think just to kind of get the vibes, you know, basically find a convention that costs $50 a day or less as just your first try at something, because if you don't like PAX or something equivalent, and yeah, you've spent money on, even if you're not flying, even if you're like kind of local and you're just getting the hotel, and by the end of it, you've spent, you know, $1,500 for the weekend, and you didn't have a great time. Like, there's nothing worse than going to Disney and not having a good time, right? Like, so I think it's great to start with one of the smaller, more chill ones like that. I would say that most conventions that I've been to, you can just go to one day, and if you just kind of pack that day full, you will have experienced a very solid portion of what there is to see there. Like, yeah, maybe you haven't literally seen every single booth, maybe you haven't gone to every talk or every single inch of it, but like you've definitely gotten a good experience. I don't think there's very many shows where you need to go to like all 3 or 4 days.
Have you ever been to a trading card show since you go to like all
No.
the retro shows? Oh, really? Has anyone?
No.
I'm a little bit curious about those now, or if I'd be out of my element and would freak out and not know what to do.
I've only been to like PAX East, which is sort of the trading card, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, more like
Okay.
that niche, where I feel like PAX West is more video game focused.
Yeah.
PAX East is more card game focused, and it was like half the hall I was in was just tables for playing, and they were having tournaments the entire day. They had a big like board game presence there, which I thought was like super cool. So like
Nice.
indie board games. And yeah, just like got to people selling dice, selling those crazy D&D tables. But I feel like nobody, like when you say PAX West, PAX East, you don't realize that there's like a nuance between them, and they're not the same.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like they're
true, 'cause
little different
PAX
flavors.
Yeah, PAX West does have like a floor that's for board games and trading cards and stuff like that, but it's definitely not like the main draw. And then PAX South is gone now, right? But that one was very, very like indie and board game focused, at least when I went, and had, yeah, I want to say the year I went to that, it was like Capcom and one other game company, and it otherwise had like no, you know, big market video game companies there. So I think yeah, they're all a little different, even if it's, you know, the same name. Comic-Con's the same way. All of the Comic-Cons are wildly different. I have gone to Emerald City Comic-Con for 13 years. I still
my
could not
gosh.
tell you who it's for. I don't know. I mean, it's a good general nerd convention, but like, I don't actually know who the person is that this is the perfect convention for. It seems mostly like a you go and buy things show. And and there's like, they always fly in like actors and stuff like that. Like, you know, people who played this superhero or whatever. And so if you are into that, there's always good photo ops and stuff like that. But, yeah, I don't know. Some of the Comic Cons are a little weird in that way, where if you're not I guess it's probably just that I'm not super into comics, so it probably is actually extremely clear. Maybe Emerald City Comic Con is like that. No, if you like Dark Horse comics, like that's the one to go to. You know, I don't know, but
Is San
God,
Diego
there's
still the
nothing
king?
weirder. Oh, SDCC, San Diego
oh
Comic Con.
yes,
That's
and
still
I
the
haven't
king.
been to that one, but my understanding is it's the only independent one still.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
Reed Pop owns all the rest of them. So that makes it the best. But
They
also,
always
I
have the
think
best
it's just
reveals.
That's the one
Yeah,
they talk
like-
about on Big Bang Theory. So that one must be the best.
Yeah, that's the classic, measure of quality. Is it was a measure of Big Bang Theory.
Did they talk? They talked about Red Dead Redemption once on Big Bang Theory. So I think that might be best game.
Oh, it's greatest show of all time?
Yeah. You guys Big Bang heads? What do they call themselves?
No,
With my Bang energy drink? Yeah!
honestly, no. But I feel like I may have been sleeping because I feel like it's the unsung hero of like the sitcom universe where people were like,
Are we
people
coming
think it's
around
like
on
Yeah, wait. What are we
I
doing?
know, I've
Are
heard
we, Are we
people-
pro? Wait, am I on a pro Big Bang Theory podcast right now? Ready to leave?
I'm not pro Big Bang Theory, but I'm like curious about it. You know what I mean?
What, are we
'Cause
talking
it's
about
like,
Young
it's easy to-
Sheldon next and how
Bang
revolutionary it
Theory.
is?
people are in my ears saying like Young Sheldon kind of eats. I was like, does he?
No!
They're like, look,
Now
I'm
they
just
have
telling
a
you what the
whole-
streets are saying, Sarah. That's
They have
not me.
a whole other
Don't shoot
show
the
now.
messenger.
That's like his brother's marriage too. That's like a whole different show. That
No, but
has
Haley, like, what's
people
the?
so-
Are you like a bang?
I do not be bang heading. Have I listened to that in the background while I play other games? Of course. It's just been on. It's sort of the It's On show at my parents' house, at least. It's just always on the TV. It's so... I read something, it was called like the adorkable misogyny of Big Bang Theory. It was like an article I read, and I've never been able to kind of... It gets a lot better later seasons, but truly one of the most misogynistic shows that just is like, but a nerd is saying it, so it's funny. But like, if you get rid of that veil, you're like, this is truly awful. Holy moly. And then by season 10, they're like, women have PhDs, and like they change the cast.
They kind
I
of
guess.
figure
Oh
it
yeah,
out.
they brought in like a nerd girlfriend for one of them.
Yeah, like three
Like
of
in a
them.
zoo
Yeah.
when you like bring in another animal so they have babies. That's kind of what it felt like.
That's exactly what happened. They brought in the PhD monkeys. They all started having babies, so that was the end of Big Bang, I guess. I still don't know how that show ends, but I'd like to imagine they win.
Has it ended?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
It ended in 2019 with E3. I think. Right?
Coincidence?
We're seeing a pattern.
Oh my God. Did Big Bang Theory kill E3? In my 90-minute YouTube essay, I will.
E3 was dumb insane though because like you had people waiting 5 hours to play 10 minutes of Final Fantasy VII. Like
know.
I never.
Packs though too.
Yes, and I could never rock with that. And it's not just because like I'm a press elitist. I just don't think there's anything that I'd be like willing to do that for. It just is. It just doesn't feel like
Yeah.
a
I
great
agree.
use of time.
There's-
It's just too
even
long.
even Monster Hunter.
No
like,
shade.
even
No
if
shade if you do
was-
it. But
Yeah. No, but I feel the same way. Like, so I played Monster Hunter Wilds for. Was this right? Was this at PAX last year?
It must have
they
been.
definitely had a
last
Monster Hunter
year.
thing like a year or two
Yeah.
ago. I remember seeing
it would
that.
have been the stories, right? Or,
Rise?
like,
No,
Rise, right?
no, I
Monster
played
Hunter Rise?
no.
The Switch one?
It was Wilds.
you were playing
Well, you know,
Wilds and you
someone-
didn't tell anyone?
As someone that
It,
doesn't
like,
play Monster
yeah.
Hunter, they're all the same to me, Kelsey. So just you can name anything.
Yeah,
Like,
because I was on
the
I got on a sacred. They brought a little not little a giant sacred statue thing that you could ride on. This must have been PAX last year. But yeah, I mean I first of all I can't wait several hours because I'm working a booth, but I feel the same way even for like my most anticipated games. There was one morning because I get there early to set up the booth and everything, so usually depends on the booth. And I'm sure, Sarah, the people like me, you absolutely hated when you were working, and other booth workers who are like, can I try your game early? Can I try? I have to work when this starts, so can you start your job early so that I can play your game? So sorry for being that person, but yeah, there was a day where they were like, yeah, we're not letting people do that today. We want to like not start work an hour and a half early. And I was like, that's very fair.
That's so felt.
Yeah, and I was like,
We
well,
had,
I'm
like,
not going to wait an hour, so I will not be
I
playing this right
know.
now.
I know E3 was not to like keep bringing up E3, was like a big, like a free swag. It turned into like a really crazy free swag by the end of its life.
Yeah.
Where they had those like giant bags that was the size of like a human body that you would then just fill up with like Halloween trinkets. And there was like an underground like free swag trade amongst all the booths by the end of it. There were people coming up to our booth and they'd be like, we heard you got XYZ, we have XYZ, like what can we do to make the trade? You know, what can we lock in on?
It was like a society that you guys built.
That's a PAX
for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because my booth doesn't give anything away normally, like maybe, I mean, first of all, we can't give away stickers. That's not allowed. Most convention centers forbid it because people put stickers on all of the buildings.
Interesting.
But usually if there is a booth where like, you know, myself or you know, other people in the booth and stuff like want something, I'll go over with some pins or some plushies and just be like, can we trade? And usually because they don't care what that costs. The people working the booth, they didn't like, most of the time they had nothing to do with that. So they're like, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, the underground swag trade though, PAX is especially crazy for that because they do the penny arcade thing. There's like a whole pin society happening, and it's only like, I can't remember the number, but it's like 10 or 20 or something booths at the convention have their own like special branded penny arcade pins, and you usually get them from like completing the demo or whatever, and it's very difficult to get, you know, collect all of them even if you're going the whole time. So yep, I mean, people like will go to conventions and treat it like a job even when it's not a job if they're trying to get like all of the swag and stuff. And that stuff is crazy because most of the time, I don't know about you guys, I don't know if you have some favorite swag, but like most of the stuff is not exciting.
I got like a Fortnite hoodie, like the pink bear.
Nice.
Like I got that one year. I don't know what happened to it.
Why have you never worn it?
This
That was the weirdest thing I got.
This reminds me of my favorite thing I've ever gotten, which I think, I should save for later. Never mind. Sorry.
Never mind, forget that I
Save this for later.
I have no
Okay.
favorites.
All right. Should we move on to the next segment, to challenge mode?
I think we should jump to
do
challenge
it.
mode. Challenge
Let's do
yourselves.
it. All right.
Watch an episode
This
of Big
week's-
Bang Theory.
No.
This week's
here's
outfit, and I
what
hope we're all participating. This week's challenge was to wear an outfit that you would wear to a convention on the show, and then also we're going to show off our convention bags as if you are about to go to a convention right now. So I know this is not just a video format, it's also podcast, so we'll do our best to explain everything we're wearing. Anyone want to go first?
Just going first.
I'll go first.
Janet.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid anymore.
But I also feel like
Home Alone.
Janet has the biggest bag.
Yeah, are we doing outfit and bag? Like back to back? Or
Oh,
are
let's
we
do
like-
outfits first, and then we'll do bags.
Okay, cool. For outfit, I have just like a regular pair of baggy pants. They're like green cargo pants. Like a kind of a stretchy like tank top, just like a chill top that without any like branding on it. And something else actually that I forgot to put it on right now. I realized this hack. So I go as press, you know, sometimes I'm writing articles, sometimes I'm just doing podcast stuff. But I usually have a notebook, like a physical notebook with me. And a challenge is like, you know, you get like, sometimes they get, especially with this press, they might give you like a flash drive with assets and then like cards and you have all this stuff that you're like tangling. I realized you can get like a lanyard that has like a pen holder in it. So now I just keep that around my neck so that I can
brilliant.
just write down stuff and just drop it. And there's like no problem
I am
because
stealing
otherwise
that.
it's like you got your phone and it's all stuff. And like if you get just like a regular black one, it doesn't look like too dorky. Like it's a little dorky. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks
It's
a
kind
little
of dorky.
camp counselor.
It's definitely giving like I'm here to assess your booth, but it's as
Carry a clipboard too, and you're golden.
It's as like far from the energy that it exudes as I could get is just having it be plain in black. And then for me, the real key is I have on like this like black windbreaker with like a little bit of a floral print, which I like 'cause it's both neutral but also kind of fun, you know, from a fashion perspective. But from a like life perspective, I like it because it's pretty thin, so you're probably not going to overheat. It's easy to like, you know, you can tie it around your waist, or you could shove it into a bag pretty easily because it does compact down pretty nicely. Because, you know, when you're dealing with any like kind of movement around, like you might get hotter than you expect, but you also might feel colder depending on if like AC is blasting or something. But yeah, that's basically my go-to for a fit. And then of course like Apple Watch, just to be able to see the time a lot, especially if you are doing like a more press oriented thing, or even as just like a fan, if you're going to panels, you might need to know what times like you need to be like leaving for certain things. Also just a big fan of doing timers for certain stuff. Like if you are in a line where you're like, I don't know if I want to wait that long, put a 5 or 10 minute timer, see where you're at in the line. If it's not really progressing like that, maybe you say, you know what, it's not really worth it. Or maybe you're like, you know what, we're almost done, or, oh, that was faster than I thought it would be. So I definitely think even if you don't go Apple Watch, having some type of easy way to check the time, set timers. The phone works fine too, but you know, the phone's a little bit bigger. Maybe you want to have it secure. I've never been robbed at a convention, but I don't want to start now, right? Like, let's keep that phone, you know, in a safe spot. But yeah, that's basically convention fit. Oh, and for shoes, I always do sneakers. I'm a sneaker person in general. I either do the Adidas Boost because I find them to be very comfortable and like I like how they look. Or I've also been rocking the Adidas Shell Toes, but like a variant that has like the ultra foam in it. I find those to be a little bit more stylish and sleek looking, but they've been very comfortable as well. Those are kind of like my go-to shoes, with a light shout out to some New Balances. I know it's a very trendy, comfy shoe currently. I like those as well. I'm currently rocking one that's like a variant where it's Figs collabed with New Balance. Figs is like a company that works for like nurses. They make like nurse stuff. So I'm like, oh, nurses have to have the best shoes. So this is kind of the greatest shoe I could buy. It's pretty good, but like I definitely kind of, you know, maybe drink the Kool-Aid a little bit on that one where I'm like, oh, Figs? I'm like, oh, this has to be like the best shoe ever. But yeah, I know I've heard good things about the Dr. Scholl's sneaker too. Haven't tried it myself. If anyone's worn it and wants to, you know, drop their take, definitely like hit me up on social or, you know, tag us or whatever, because I've been wanting to check that one out too. It's nice, white, kind of neutral. People tend to wear that around like, oh, I went through Europe and I walked like, you know, 10 light years in these shoes. I was like, okay, calm down. But yeah, big on the comfy convention shoe.
Yeah.
That's my
no one's
convention
looking at your
fit generally.
feet. You need comfy all the way.
Yeah.
No one's going to go, oh, where are her heels? It is GDC.
Though, don't you dream? I like dream about being like Zendaya level with those heels, where she's always wearing like those Louboutins. Though
Every
it's like, okay,
time.
I'm not gonna wear that heel, and I can't afford the Louboutin, so I don't know why I have this dream. But if I could,
I wore heels
look,
to E3 my first 2 years because I was trying. I was trying really
tall?
hard for people to take me seriously, so I was going in like blazer and like heels and trying
Did
to look
people like
nice.
dress up when it was not like, you know, the end of life E3? Would you say it was like more
A
business? It was
little
supposed to be
more?
business casual more?
Yeah, I mean, well, so like inside every booth, yes. Like if you walked into like the Nintendo booth and not, you know, there's like the where the actual employees are standing, and then there's like the stations to play the games, and all the employees were wearing at least like slacks, like
sure, yeah.
you know, like it wasn't like, I would say even business casual is maybe a little too much, but it was somewhere in between casual and business casual.
That's a tough line to parse. I haven't really thought about it there. If you're like representing a business, not just yourself rummaging around the floor, you probably feel like you might have dressed a certain way.
I always thought
That is
that
a
like the
totally different thing, though.
and
That's
it's like I thought that the people that they hired to like work the booths, I always thought that they were people who worked for the company. And sometimes they are, but when I was working in LA, I found out that they just hire out a lot of the booths
Yeah.
to
Nintendo
like
does for
attractive
sure,
people.
yeah.
Oh,
They like
yeah.
they take
They're
people who
always
are
hot
like
at Nintendo.
freelance attractive people.
100%.
Yeah, those
like-
booth babes are out now. You can't, like, most
No.
people aren't doing like booth babes. They're
But
just
they
like
do
doing
hire
booth
like
hot girl next door.
charismatic. Yeah, they hire like charismatic, attractive people.
They did that,
Yeah.
and then when
And
I
you
went
could
to
tell.
play, when I was playing Mario Odyssey back in 2017, I wasn't sweating because of the game. I was like, these people are the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life, and I gotta play the Sphinx mini game that's hard to control in front of these people
And
right
they
now.
compliment you no matter what.
Yeah,
They're always
"Oh,
like,
yeah.
"You're
so
doing
fast."
so good. You're one of the
No
best
one's
people we've
ever
seen so
found
far.
that."
I cannot like." You are blowing my mind how good you are at this game, and I'll be like dying repeatedly in a corner.
I've been
or
here
something.
all day, and no one's ever gotten close to beating the thing that you couldn't beat. So you are actually like,
Crazy.
come on now.
And it works.
like,
and I go 10 out of 10. Best preview.
I do that at home sometimes for fun, where I'm like, wow, you're so good at this game. That's crazy. Like, just
Who wants to go next?
Okay, my fit's a little different because I am usually sitting behind a counter or a desk or something, maybe
Valid.
standing. But I don't have to do as much like walking around. So my footwear is not quite as important in terms of comfort. I'm still usually wearing a shoe. Actually, I'm going to grab the exact shoe I normally wear real
love it.
quick.
I would
Hang on.
hope you were wearing
We
a
got
shoe,
shoe drop.
Kelsey.
Shoe drop. Look at her.
What kind of
back.
shoe do you
got
think it is?
slippers
I'm gonna
behind
say
the boots.
boot, like ankle boot.
Damn, I was too long.
High
Wait, those are so
So-
sick.
Yeah, I like to wear. I have a black pair of these that I usually wear, but this is pink and green, so it's
Those are sick.
it's Pinkerella colors. But this
Cute.
it's a tennis shoe that's got a little bit of heel in it. I'm 4'10". It's really annoying to be 4'10". People don't even see you.
Especially
so
at
anywhere I can,
conventions.
anywhere I can add an inch or two, I do. But I'm actually usually dressed like not entirely for comfort because I'm not moving around as much. And I'm representing my business, so I try to look, like a little nice. I'm always wearing pink at these shows because my store is Pinkerella. And so, I'm usually wearing like a long pink skirt and like a black top or a green top.
Cute.
Green skirt, something along like some sort of combination of that. And then the part that I don't have, I really thought I had one at home, but apparently I returned them all to the store, is I'm usually wearing a little like one of those half chef apron things. You know what I'm talking about? That
Yeah.
Look how cute.
like a waiter will wear.
Yeah.
And they got their little notebook in it and everything. I have that
Tom
in
Nook.
pink. Yeah, the Tom. Yes,
a little Tom
exactly.
Nook
What Tom
apron.
Nook wears. Yeah. I usually wear a little Tom Nook apron in pink, and that's got all of the like immediate supplies that I need because I'm usually not like holding my purse or carrying around anything like that.
Love it. Fashion and function.
Yeah.
Super
I had to
cute.
re-Google what Tom Nook looked like. I've seen him a bunch of times, but I'm like, what apron does he wear?
I've
Oh, in the
seen him a
original
bunch of
game,
times.
I think he only
and
wears
then,
it
and then
in
I
the
like
first,
squint and I'm
two
like, that's
games.
Kelsey.
That's great. I can go next.
Nice.
So you've seen this how many times? I got my Bulbasaur blazer. This thing, I got my job wearing this thing. This is my lucky little
Oh my gosh, she's a
blazer.
professional.
I wear blazers.
A
to-
blazer?
I wear blazers to all my shows because I'm there.
He's a lawyer.
I'm there to be a lawyer. I don't go to conventions like fun ones. I would love to go to a trade card show. I think I'm going to try to do that
goes
next
to-
year or so. But
Law convention at the law center.
I'd be going to the
Lawyer con.
Lawyer Con would be so boring. Oh my god, I would never go. What would even small talk even look like? It would be horrible.
Objection. Like, I don't know. I don't know law, so I only have like 3 jokes I can make, Haley.
That's all we have. The rest of them are just mean about us. I used to wear dress pants. I just can't. I just wear jeans, like a nice pair of jeans, right? Like no rippies in them or anything. Like you can have rippies, but I just
Phil Spencer.
yeah.
Blazer and jeans.
Phil Spencer is my aesthetic.
The
god.
Phil Spencer.
My fashion icon.
my fashion icon.
No, but you're not wearing a graphic tee, so you're safe.
no. What
There's
I like
no
to
graphic
do,
tee into your blazers.
I liked, especially when I go to California a lot, so I like to get the shoulder-free ones, because if I have sleeves in my blazer, I feel like the Hulk. I just want to like Hulk out and rip
Yeah.
everything. So I always go for sleeveless. And then it's kind of nice, like if you go out to dinner, it's like, and take the blazer off, it still kind of looks dressy because it's like a sleeveless shirt with like
yeah.
nicest jeans. And then I always try to go and buy a sleeveless shirt that has a color that's some kind of matching to the inside of my fun pattern. So there's like some connection there. And then I used to bring a big bag, a big honkin' like lawyer bag. The first GDC I went to, I brought that. Immediate regrets.
A
Like,
briefcase?
it's like a set. Yeah, I have it right here.
Oh my god.
It's too big.
She has a lawyer briefcase.
Yeah, it's cute. My principal
and she's
actually
bringing
gave
it
me this.
places.
So
Oh.
Ooh.
I have all my notary stuff in here.
Oh, this is like so fancy looking.
It's a nice briefcase. It's like, that's where my notary stamp is. I might have shown this when we did our fashionista montage new show
Oh my
plus.
god.
But I brought this, and it does have like the clippy thing so you can put it over your shoulder. Just extreme overkill though. Like I had my notebook in here in case I need to take notes, but this, I just didn't need it. And halfway through the first day of the show, I was like, God, I wish I just
Yeah.
had a little over the shoulder bag. Why'd I do this? Because it just got so heavy and wasn't needed. And I am going to bring a notebook again, but I'm just going to bring like my little Hobonichi notebook and just like write out in
Nice.
advance what the time and dates are. And this thing's small enough that I can just go in like a small shoulder bag kind of thing. So I had to learn my lesson the first year in my dress pants with my big briefcase. And then after that, I learned my lesson. I'm like jeans and a little side bag, and that's fine. And yeah, I kind of like wearing the blazer because it's sort of like, why do you have a blazer on? And then it's like an excuse to be like, I'm not a developer. I'm actually a lawyer. Hello, here's my card.
You can tell by my blazer that I had several years of school.
Your
I
career
actually
reveal.
went to a school, and I'm here because
I'm
like
glad you
games.
asked.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
No, I love a blazer. I need to get back into my blazer era. I was really big on them in like high school, college, because like also, you know, we came kind of in that era where like business casual was like in the club. I didn't actually go to the club,
that
but I was
bad.
like rocking the
Yeah.
the business casual.
My
Like we all had the peplum
top, with my
top,
skinny jeans, my
the peplum
flats,
top, exactly.
a messy
But-
bun, and a
Shopped at
chunky
Express.
necklace.
Exactly. But I think, you know, as we evolved from that, it's like any other fashion trend, it's like, hold on, let me rummage through the bin of this trend and pick out the good parts. And I do think a nice blazer can really do a lot for an outfit. And you can dress it up and down and stuff. It's just that now that we've let go of what we were doing with the statement necklace, which I had the statement necklace. I had everything. I was a victim.
Necklace. Don't worry, we all went through that. This is black milk as well. I always get the question when I show it. They make such good gaming blazers. They have a Zelda one I bought this last year that's black. It does have a little bit of the puffy sleeves, which I did notice when I panic bought it in a trance because I noticed that they had a new blazer. But they have 3 different Pokemon. I've literally bought every single one because anytime I need to go to an event, it's just they're really comfy, they're really light, and they're just nerdy, but they're subtle nerdy. I love a little subtle
Sponsor
nerdy.
us, Black Milk.
Oh, I would love a little
God,
black
that'd be
milk
so
sponsor.
good.
And then the final thing I wanted to call out, because this is a female space. Oh, I have this strapless bra I got off Amazon. I will send you guys the link. It is the single best. I've been looking my entire life for one that's not annoying. And because you wear these, you can't have like, I don't want to be constantly like going, like strapping that up. I found this thing. It is like Fort Knox. It's amazing. And it's still comfy. And I sent it to my sister. I was like, you need to get this. And it's been sold out every day since she's been, I don't know if I logged on one day. It just
I don't
happened to
have
be
like
available.
the faith in a strapless bra.
This one
yeah.
has the wiring that goes all the way up to here. And it's like, I could wrestle a bear and nothing's moving. Like, I swear to God, I never feel confident.
Fight a bear right now.
I never feel confident with them, but this
Challenge mode next week.
I love that you brought that up. Like before we get to Sarah, your outfit, but I have kind of a similar situation where it's like I am more of at this point in my life, like I don't know, maybe like a sports bra person. Like I don't want to. I still don't know what
I'm
size I
getting there
am.
too.
I can never figure out my size. And it's not even like I got a lot going on there, but just, I just don't know. And then it's like, it doesn't ever feel, I hate it. I don't like it. I'm over it. So I'm like, how can I like avoid this? And sometimes you can get away with like pasties if your shirt is like tight enough. But what I love, and they're not perfect, I feel like you can kind of like see some of the seams a little bit. But there's this like brand called the Classy Network, but Classy spelled with a K. And all of their stuff has like built-in like bras into them. But I actually feel like they do work well, at least especially like if it's like a black top, I think it's easier to like hide some of like the seaming. So I either lean on just like stuff that doesn't need a bra, you can just use pasties for, or like these. Like I'm actually like that's the shirt that I have on now, which you can't actually like see my chest very well, which I'm fine with on the internet. So that works. That crap works for me. I'm good with that. But like, yeah, I think that's also so key because I also don't want to deal with that. And I feel like that's a weird facet of like shirts and tops that you have to think about. That's like a little bit annoying, but yeah, that's where I'm at also. So I too am always trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I would like not buy the cute top I wanted because I know I didn't have the security,
The right like bra
the backup,
for it, yeah.
the backup for it. And now I found my backup, and I love this thing.
You just gotta. I just got into bandeaus. Like, so if the bra doesn't quite work, I'm like, well, at least it looks intentional now. It's fine.
The bando. I haven't heard the word bando in 15 years. That takes me back.
Are they called something different?
No, they are called
No.
bandos, but I just feel like I've never.
Okay.
No one utters them anymore. I guess I just. That's just.
I utter this.
nostalgia.
I also need a
utter
bandeau. I don't know why I've never bought one because it's like kind of what, but that's basically why I lean
It
on
kinda
a bandeau
uniboobs
top
you.
or something.
My thing with bandos is
mean-
it gives you like the uniboob, so it's just
Yeah,
depends on
I
what you
guess.
want.
No, not the
Yeah,
strapless
for sure.
ones. Like,
Oh,
just like the. So is that
on,
not
I don't
called
know.
a
Okay,
bandeau?
if it has straps, it's not a bando.
yeah.
Bando's like a strapless tube.
I thought that was just a tube.
Okay, bring it out.
top.
Let's see it.
Okay, like I'm
when
not,
I
doing that
Google
on the
bandeau
internet.
with straps, yeah. Okay, I was
It's like jumbo shrimp.
Yeah, I don't. Is it just isn't that just a tank top, right? If you have like a bandeau with straps, it's just a tank
thing,
top.
but it's like lacy and just looks intentional under.
It's just like a cami, though. Isn't it just a
cami-
Well,
cami?
there's
not
like
like
longer.
but cropped, like just where your
No,
bra
there's
would
a
be.
name for that.
What's that name?
It's called like
swear.
long line bras or something.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
like
good.
Amazon.
Googling to try to figure it out.
It needs a fun
But yeah,
word
the point
like
is
bandeau.
anything
You guys
to
are totally
avoid.
right. If you do
a regular
if you
bra.
Google bandeau, it is just the tubes. What am I thinking? What are these called?
What do I wear? I think you're
don't
thinking of
know.
like a camisole with a built-in
That's what I
bra.
think. Right, cami, right?
No, because not like a full shirt, just like the
It's a
size
crop.
of a bra, but it
Look up
covers
long
more.
line bra.
No, not a long line bra.
What is
That's
this
not
mystery item?
bralette. That's what it's called.
Bralettes. Bralettes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I also would agree with that. That's pretty solid. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, anything to avoid like
Anyways,
a regular bra is the
important
point. That's the
For your
point. Like
comfort.
anything to avoid like the traditional cup system. I don't know what's going on. I can't do this math. And if you're off by like half a centimeter, it's like wildly different. I don't want to deal with it.
This makes
my
me
God.
feel so
Sarah.
much better because I've also flipped to mostly wearing like not like sports bras, but like the
all I
sports
wear.
bras esque. The minute it has like an underwire in it,
I don't do any
get-
underwires.
I'm like,
I feel caged. It
I
needs to
hulk
have a
out of it. I hate it. It's poking me.
Yeah, that's why this one's good. Is like the wires go so high that it's more likely to poke your neck than anything down there. Like you're safe.
Locked in.
Locked the hell in. I'll put the link in the description of the video too, because I already know someone's like, "What's that bra?" It's great.
Yeah, but you know
said
we
it's
have to
sold out.
gatekeep. So wait, let us get it first.
Okay, I'll
and
send
then
y'all
we
the-
release the link.
I'll send you guys the link, and then
Well, we're recording this like a week before it comes out, so it's
Oh, yeah.
fine.
It has
true.
1 week
Fine.
to restock.
Sarah, what's your
Sarah, what's your
conventional
outfit?
So my outfit, here we go. So
go.
this is my emotional support denim jean jacket
We all
that
have
I have
very
worn
cute.
to
Love it.
pretty much every event I have ever worked at, like Video Game Awards, TwitchCon, PAX East, TGS. Like if you look in any of my photos, I have it on, right? It's emotional support. And that is because, let me show you. Bam! It's got pockets on the inside, baby!
huge pockets.
Huge inside pockets?
Yup.
They're
that's-
really
So basically,
giant.
Amazing.
I
You're
would
like that
have
vendor from Resident Evil.
exactly. What are you buying? But instead, it's my phone. So it's like I'm doing social media, right? So it's like I'm constantly reaching for my phone. Like it needs to be easy to get. Like I can't be messing around in a bag to get anything. So I have my phone, I have a power bank, I have my wallet, my hotel key, and like that's it. My badge, that's it. I'm going
Nice.
light. We're traveling light. We've got 10 hours on the show floor, like usually the bag's at the booth, but yeah, it's like this is it, baby. This is like
Perfect.
all I need.
Oh, I wish my
Oh,
jean jacket
and then-
had that.
I also have to put a little pin on the collar so people know that like I actually play video games because even if you go to these events, sometimes people don't believe you.
What's the
So I'll,
pin?
like this is the Monster
that
Hunter
guy.
monster. Yeah, like
Oh.
Paolumu, the little puffball guy.
Paolumu.
Cute.
Paolumu. So you got a little. I got to video game it up a little bit because I don't
Name
wear, like,
every
video game
Monster Hunter
t-shirts.
monster. Otherwise, I don't think you play video games.
Name all the
actually.
monsters you wanted.
Play video games.
I like to hit them with my favorite monster is Malfestio, which has only been in one game, and so a lot of people are like, "Wait, which one's that?" I'm like, "It's the owl
Yeah.
that makes you walk backwards." Come on,
You really should have known that.
Duh.
You don't know?
you don't know?
Back
Wow,
of the line.
like
No.
you haven't played Monster Hunter. I don't know.
It
That's
is
sad.
you who is falsification.
Love it. What are you doing for shoes, Sarah?
But like, also for shoes, just like a normal tennis shoe, but like similar to Kelsey, I always try to have a platform of some type because I am also like 5'1", and that is like armpit height
tall.
at most of these video
what
game
I'm-
conventions.
That's what I aspire to. Is 5'1".
so
You guys
any-
are all such cute little short.
Any
queens.
kind of height, so
I'm 5
nobody like
feet.
steps on me. It's also
That's why-
backpack height, and nerds really like to
Nice.
carry around backpacks, and like I get like bad. It's like a battering ram when like people walk around with giant backpacks on me. Me personally, who is
into all the
backpack
time.
height.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
it's rough, but it also is. It is a superpower for getting through crowds a little bit because you
It
can
is.
do
Yeah, you
the
can
like
weave
weave.
really nicely.
You're
Yeah.
gonna lose
Yeah.
me. I'm a slippery one in those crowds.
You're gonna lose me.
Haley, if you ever go to a convention with me, you're gonna need to like attach balloons to us, like they do to turtles that wander around people's
I know.
backyards.
Yeah.
That sounds really
Because
adorable.
Janet,
Let's
Kelsey,
do it.
and I are all of similar height,
Yeah.
but Haley is not height.
So I thought Haley was like a fellow small, and then when I met Haley, I was like, I had to keep
fascinating.
looking up, and I'm like, oh, you're like a tall.
Yeah,
I thought you were small.
I'm 5'9/10.
And I'm not gonna
Whoa.
lie, I was kind of
That's like
sad
whole
about
person
it.
size.
I was like, why are you so high up there?
I know. It's funny. I'm so curious to why I gave short girl to you.
I think it's because I've known other people with parts of your personality type that are also short. So I
Interesting.
thought, you must just be short. And also, we work remotely, so you're always sitting. So I was like, I thought you were like a small, spunky woman, like a fellow small, spunky person.
Small, spunky woman.
Yeah.
I hated being
I was like,
tall
you can
when
be
I was
tall
younger.
and funny? So why am I short then? You tell me I could add it all?
The grass is always greener because I wanted to be short, right? You always want the opposite. When
Really?
when I was growing up, I was taller than all the boys right away. I have the most vivid memory of a school dance. And I was just sitting there looking over everyone's head. And then there was one guy who also happened to be tall. Shout outs Jeremy. And then we just like locked eyes and was like, hey. And like, everyone's head. Every single other person was short. And it's just like, because we just hit puberty faster or something. Like, I've always had really short girlfriends too. Like, it's just, I've always been the tall one. So you kind of just feel like, I'm the big monster in all the photos and stuff. Like, it's like, everyone's all cute. And it's
no.
like, you gotta back up to fit Haley in the frame. Everyone else you could squeeze in on there. So that's always kind of what it
I
felt
will
like.
apple box up there, Haley. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's not your problem to fix.
But
Exactly.
on the flip side, do you think anyone would take you seriously as a lawyer if you were like that's part of the reason why I like feel like I could never do something like that is I feel like I'd get up to, the stand in court or whatever and they'd be like, this munchkin wants to try to argue with me and no one would take me seriously.
How sad is it that we have to think about that? But totally, I've thought about how, like, I'm happy that I'm tall because that guy who I kind of get the energy is a little bit misogynistic is at least looking me in the eye. Like, at least he has to do that. Or even better, if I'm a little taller than him and I can get that energy from him, I'm like, how are you,
Nice.
Doug? Looking down at him slightly, that always feels kind of good too.
The worst part is like being so short. Sometimes you say something and tall people don't hear you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they have
that's
to
awful.
like you have to like
Oh.
point your head up and go, I said.
Well, they go like all the way down.
What?
Also, like there's that joke of like, how's the weather up there? But like, it actually does feel a little different because I've like stood on
hotter
step
down
stools
where
to be
we
like, what?
are.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, it does feel different down here, which is weird. I don't want to be like
air is not
super
fresh.
tall, but I think
Yeah.
I would like to be like I'm 5 feet tall, and I wish I was like 5'2" or 5'4". I don't mind being short, but I'd like to be a little bit like. There's some certain things that are just like a little out of reach, and I'm like, with just that little bit, I could get there, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. The grass is always greener. Listen, I've aged past the point of caring about my height, but yeah, I still remember being at Cornwallis Junior High School having the worst time being 5 inches taller than literally everyone in my class. I was like, I want to die. I don't want to
That
be
does
perceived, and yet I'm the biggest person in the room. It's like the worst combo.
That does sound horrible. Yeah, as an adolescent, that sounds like a
Yeah.
terrible place.
Yeah.
But then once you're in your 30s, it's like, I'm tall. Haha. And you just don't care anymore.
See, I knew you were
That's
exactly
exactly what
up
it's
there.
like.
I could feel it. I could sense it.
All right, second part of challenge mode here is what's in our bag, but I want to try to mix it up a little bit and see how many like matching things we have. Does everyone have your bags on you?
Yes.
Is it like your convention bag specific or your bag?
Convention
It's
bag.
what you would take to a convention. We're gonna do not a game, I guess, just a thing. We're gonna do a thing with our bags because my guess is there's a lot of overlap in our bags, and I want to do like a what. Let's do like a spot the difference kind of thing. So hold up if you bring ibuprofen or some other something like that with you.
I'm not that smart.
I have that.
Janet's
Hold on,
got
I gotta
it.
dig. I gotta dig, but I have it. I have a whole little like mini like
Oh, you have like a pill organizer.
container.
Oh
my
you're
yeah,
prepared.
I knew Janet was.
Shout out to
She's got a little
Daiso.
drugstore in there.
It's like the dollar store if it was really, really good and cute. Shout out to Daiso. There's a couple locations throughout the United States. Yeah, I have some. What is this? What is it called? I'm trying.
What are all my various?
No, yeah. Like, well, I have some
potions.
Advil if you want to be like a normie and take Advil, but if you want to get real relief, not sponsored, but should be. BC, this little freaky powder that comes in this little sleeve.
What is that?
Just look up BC. It's like it is an aspirin. It's like the NSAID, like aspirin kind of thing, but it's super strong. It tastes nasty wasty, but it will clear up whatever you have like immediately. It is like the best aspirin I've ever experienced. But if you don't want to like, let your freak flag fly, you can just take the ibuprofen that I have. And,
What do you
and
say?
don't
That's
get
over
me
here,
wrong,
like I
I feel
got some codeine if you got a real bad.
I was like, if you're really down to clown, you can have the BC. But if you're feeling some way, then I have like the Tums, a couple. What is it? The icebreaker, like mints, and then like a piece of gum. Because I find it nice to have a couple extras of things in case like you're around so many people. Like someone might be like, oh my god, does anyone have this? And I love the glory of delivering for someone.
Yeah,
like that's the
being
high
that
that I'm
person.
chasing. Yeah, and also I want my own stuff, so that's why I have this little thing.
Smart.
Okay, so Jan and I both have some kind of medications with us. Lip balm.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't have lip balm.
I need lip balm.
Wait,
like,
do I?
What kind are you guys using?
I got this fancy one. I got this for Christmas. I had never bought one of these
Ooh,
fancy
Glossier.
ones, but I got it as a
sunscreen.
Christmas gift.
That's not.
Oh, that's
really the
good.
same, but
good.
little
Nice.
sunscreen. That's like
Sarah,
face sunscreen.
mine's like
yours?
Jack Black. It's a man. It's got a man's name, but it's really, really
What?
good.
Oh, I've
It's
used
really,
that
really
before.
good.
That stuff's
Full of
so
rock?
good. When I had my jaw
I've heard
surgery,
that.
I
Yeah.
layered that on my
This
lips.
is the best I've ever used, and I'm,
Oh.
very critical of my chest.
Okay, when I Google Jack Black, it's just Jack Black coming up, so I have to add
Of course.
That black lip.
I don't know why
Yeah,
I
Jack
thought like the lip balm.
Not the
I
actor.
have Aquaphor for mine, which I just found out it comes in stick form as well as like I thought it only came in that little like
Oh.
squeezy tube. And
Yeah.
I'm big on the just like hit up Sephora birthday gift because I don't actually go through that much stuff.
Yeah.
I have the Summer Fridays that I got from
Smart.
Sephora.
Perfect.
Really good, really smells really nice, but honestly it does kind of give you that like lip gloss film on your mouth after a while. So the Aquaphor is just good if you want just like to live.
Nice.
Okay, I've got one I think none of you guys have in your bag.
Scissors.
Scissors.
No, I
You're
don't
allowed to
have
bring
that.
those
Why
into
are
the
they letting you in
convention hall.
there? Yeah.
Because I work
Check my bag
for
and
work.
tackle me.
Yeah, this is for work. So I actually these are not the scissors I normally have. These ones
Those are
kinda suck,
illegal.
but
I get tackled if I
but
bring
I-
those in.
I bring scissors because our booth uses them. We zip tie everything. So this is how we
valid.
get down the product. So
Nice.
that's probably just
Do you
the
have to
main
be
thing.
like, I have a booth. These are my scissors. Do you have to disclose the scissors?
Yeah, we go in through at most shows we go in through an exhibitor entrance, and now they've started doing like security at those entrances. They used to not. You used to like if you wanted to walk in with a friggin' rifle, you probably could.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I mean, nothing's happened to me so far. But yeah, but now you have to go through like a metal detector and everything, and they will like a lot of times they'll like look at the scissors and they'll just explain what they're for, and they're like, okay. Or most of the time they don't say anything, but sometimes they do.
Sure. It helps with
Okay,
the pretty smalls too, so.
Here's another one I bet Janet has. Band-Aids.
Ooh, I don't.
I usually have
Band-Aids?
Band-Aids, but I recently
Yeah.
used my Band-Aid in my bag.
Oh,
But I
Gosh,
always
I'm sorry to
bring,
hear that.
That's okay. I always bring Band-Aids to conventions because I be getting blisters even if I have the comfiest shoes on.
Yeah.
I just always do.
they match my scissors. Really, is what they're for me.
They're the same
The
color?
other half of no, I just mean like I have scissors, so I have to have Band-Aids.
Oh, I
'cause,
see. I'm
you
like,
know.
okay.
is she color coordinating her scissors and Band-Aids? I'm like, is
No.
that a thing that I'm missing out on?
Everyone's got pens, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exorbitant amount of pens.
I really just actually try to keep it with two. Wait, Sarah, I think I just got that pen. I don't have it on
They're
my
on
pen,
Amazon.
but
What's
yes,
everyone
what's
rocking?
that brand again?
Let's show our pens.
Hold on. Haley, I
this
have
is-
the pen you have, I think.
I normally have a nicer one than this, but I always at least have one of the like just boring Bic whatever things. But I like, Haley, I like the one that you have. I like ones with a
Yeah.
little more like fluidy.
This is the Sarah
Inky liquid.
Mark-On. and it like just it goes on really nice. I use it for journaling too. It's like the best ballpoint pen I've ever bought. It was on Amazon for not that much.
I have the Energel, like, so mine is different than yours then. The Pentel Energel Clean Gel pen. But then the one you have, Sarah, I think I just
so
got
many
that for Christmas.
gels.
Yeah, it's like, this is my favorite pen. And then I found out about, I think, the pen you have, Sarah. And then I was like, give me that pen. And now I have that pen also.
I think
I
love.
Oh, yeah.
Really
It's got a nice little, like,
Let's see.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that pen.
And it's got a nice little, like, the little grippy part at the end.
Yeah. That's a good pen.
I also
Think I could walk in with these? It'd be okay. These scissors?
some kitchen scissors. I also we will usually bring like I like perfume a lot, but at conventions I try to wear something that is a lot more like understated and inoffensive because you're going to be in a big crowd of people and that you just never know how that's going to react. So I usually bring just like a little roller ball of something kind of like
Cute.
floral and inoffensive, you know, in
Love
case
that.
I need to touch up.
I don't
Yeah, I
bring
haven't
perfume.
found, like, yeah,
Janet,
I haven't
did you have
found what I
deodorant
want to
one
do yet.
year?
Every year I have deodorant.
She has it in her hand right now.
That is
The
so
Dove?
legit.
Yeah.
The minis, like the travel size, the mini like Dove Advanced Carry Spray. What I like about it being a spray too is if someone else wants to use it, they can without it being like, let me roll onto this what you rolled into your
Yeah.
armpit because that's kind of gross.
Smart.
Yeah, and I have kind of in the same vein. I have like what do they call it? It's like they sell a bougie one. Like Bioma sells a bougie version, but it's basically just like a facial spray. It's like a hand sanitizer for your face. It's like I forgot what it's made out
Like
of.
a mist
but
kind of thing, like a face refreshing.
yeah. It's like just because I get really oily, and when I get my skin is very oily, and it can get so oily that like the oil will like pour into my eyes, which
Oh, ouch.
blinds me. So I'm like, okay, I have to try to like avoid that.
What sucks at like most conventions too is like you don't really get to go back to the hotel.
Yes,
It's like
Yeah.
bus, club, another club,
Exactly.
and it's so
This is, like,
easy
my
to feel so gross by the
rehumanizing-
end of it.
Yes. This is like my rehumanizing stuff where it's like, especially if I'm pivoting from like what you're mentioning, Sarah, where it's like you're hanging out. I mean, you saw this when you went to SGF with me, where it's like, okay, we did everything all day. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I get deodorant. I get like a new spray. I like slightly change if I can. And then it's like, boom, now it's like a new day. In lieu of resting, it's like a little reset. So,
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
didn't get
it's
to
the best
talk
you can get
about it.
sometimes.
Do you guys rock makeup during conventions, or is it like just a little bit?
Yeah.
Or yeah, I want to
Yeah,
rub
but-
my eyes all day at conventions.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I
I usually
I put mascara on.
bring I usually bring like not, you know, I don't bring like a full makeup bag with me, but I'll bring actually I have it here. One of those like blush / lip cream things where it's just like a little you just
cute.
twist it up
Okay,
and it
yeah.
works on like any part of your face.
cute.
So
Cute.
it works for blush. It works if I mean I don't usually wear stuff on my lips, but like if they look pale and dead for some reason, I'll just bring like that and mascara with me, and that's my only like touch up makeup. So beyond that, if it starts getting gross, it's just coming off.
I can't trust
I also
myself
love
with
to rub my
eyeliner
eyes.
because I have hooded eyes like crazy. Like my eye, top of my eyes just rub against like my eyelash line. So if I wear eyeliner, unless I have crazy primer / like the finishing spray and all that huzzah, 10 seconds into my day, it's just like black. It's just black all up in here. It drives me crazy. And I watch all the little videos about hooded eyeliner tutorial, and it never freaking works. And I go to the Sephora and I say, I need your least rubby one. And then they walk me to the aisle and they show me the one I already
I
have
feel
that
like-
rubs. And I'm like, ah.
I don't do any touch-ups, but as the day goes on, I will stop looking in a mirror. As the day goes on, I don't want to know.
That's the
real
way.
ad.
If
That's the way.
somebody, if it's that bad, I hope to God someone would tell me. But honestly, at the end of the day, I don't want to know.
Valid.
Yeah, I don't really wear too much makeup like even in my day-to-day because I lack the skill and the energy and the money to like I think really take it to that
the
level that I
triple
want it
whammy.
to. Yeah, it's like not really good at it, don't really have the resources, like don't really good, you know. It depends on what's going on, I guess, like on how I mean, obviously I could do the whole 9 and do like a mascara and like an eyeshadow and everything, but
Yeah.
in lieu of that, just like a tinted sunscreen, I feel like is an easy dub.
Yeah.
Some like and a little eyebrow gel or something. I always do like lip products though.
I was
like,
gonna say, you always have
even
cute
if-
lips.
I'm always doing lip gloss. I'm always doing like a lip stain or something, if nothing else. I'm big on the like kind of similar to you, Kelsey. I'll do the like Rare Beauty. I have like a mini sample size of their blush, and it lasts like a cajillion years because it's so pigmented. And then with the grease thing, though, I do the Fenty Invisimatte powder. I like a lot for like picking up oil. Again, you can use it to kind of finish up a makeup look, but you can also just use it on your bare skin, and that's pretty good. So I'll probably just mostly do that because I will also rub my eyes as well, Haley. So it's like, you know, it's just a little easier
get all
to
up
not.
in there halfway through the day. I'm just like, I want to rub my eyes so
You
bad.
should just go for that look. Just do like a really full, you know, emo teen
Tonight
girl
will
look.
be the
Smoky eye.
night that I will fall for you.
All for you.
I guess I could be your lawyer.
Don't want me to want.
They're like, I don't want to hire her. She's weird. She gives weird vibes.
If you like a lawyer with a little bit of a dark side, a little bit of edge.
I won't go to court.
No one
for
gets
you.
me.
Because I don't leave my den. My what do emo people call their homes? Their dens.
Not their dens. What is this? Okay, Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, I don't
Inside me,
know.
there are two wolves.
My emo.
Neither of them can do eyeliner.
My lair. My lair. That's a bit better, right? Sorry, emo people. You're immediately cooler than me. Look at how I'm trying to imitate you, and I don't even know what you do. I just want to rub my eyes. That's all.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. You need to rub your eyes so much. I do full makeup because I'm dumb. So I do full makeup. Usually I'll like,
That's not true.
to make myself feel better about going to conventions and stuff, I'll get like an eyelash. What's it called? Like a perm.
Extension?
I'll get like my
Like a
eyelashes
lift?
curled. Not extensions. It's like a
Lift.
perm for your eyelash.
lift?
A lift. I'll get a lash lift so I don't have to
I've
wear
never done that.
mascara.
I've
You
been
should.
wanting to
They're
do
really
that.
fun. Because they take
fun.
your eyelashes. They look so good when you're done. It's like permanent, curled,
Is it not
permanently
uncomfortable
tinted. No.
when they do it?
I've never
okay.
heard of
No.
this.
They
What does it
just
last
kinda,
for?
usually mine lasts me for like 3 months. And
Oh
then
my
they
God.
slowly
I want
come
that so
back.
Whoa.
bad because I love the look of a curled lash. But when I try to like do the like, oh, just use a really good eyelash curler, and then you can put like, you know, a little gel or it never,
My
it
lashes
never
do
like
not
it
stay
falls
curled.
Straight.
It falls immediately,
It's like a roof.
and that's like if I use mascara, I can get like the lift and the holds. But I'm like, how can I get lift and hold without mascara? So no, that
God,
sounds
And you can only
really good.
You can only pinch your eyelid with one of those so many times before you just never want to look at it again.
That's so true.
It's very uncomfortable. Anyways, everyone bring lotion with you because I'm a dry lady.
Yeah, I have lotion.
My hands are always so dry.
Yeah.
I do the little Neva
Oh,
cream
I like
container
that.
because it's tiny.
That's nice and small. Mine's still kind of.
Mine's curvy.
Mine's still sunscreen, but it's hydrating sunscreen.
Oh,
Oh,
it's holographic.
nice.
It's
yeah,
rare.
wee, hollow rare. Yeah, so I burn like a little freaking peach. So if I have to hydrate, I might as well put sunscreen on too. Even
That's
if
so
Yeah.
responsible of you.
yeah. I like the
I
smell
wear
of
like
sunscreen.
3 layers of sunscreen every day. My like moisturizer is sunscreen. I do like a tinted sunscreen
Yeah.
as like my base. It's all
Cute.
sunscreen.
You need to sneak sunscreen and everything. I want to switch to a lip balm that has SPF in it because I don't actually have that.
Oh, you know
And
who
I
has
feel like-
SPF? Jack Black.
Oh wait,
25.
I misspoke.
Mine
SPF
doesn't.
25.
The Aquaphor does have SPF, but 30, I guess that's decent.
That's a bit
something.
more than Jack Black.
But does it
Sorry, Jack
smell
Black.
like
No.
espresso?
Is it
That's
shea butter
Is
and
it?
vitamin E?
The way it's
You got
from-
vitamins
It
in
doesn't.
there?
No, but it's fragrance and paraben free. So
Okay.
you know, I don't work for Aquaphor. You know
That's
what?
for
I'll
those
let Jack Black
sensitive
have
babies.
this. Hey, that's me. I'm the.
All right,
baby.
what else? What else do we have in our bags? That's all the big stuff in mine.
Oh,
big
Other
stuff.
than I
yeah,
guess like
Surely.
feminine.
Yeah,
Surely you guys have
hand
hand sanitizer.
Oh, I
Oh,
I do,
The
but
trendy
What's your
one?
flavor?
flavor.
mine's Power Mist.
You eating
Mine's
that?
pure lavender.
Ooh, lavender's
Oh, sorry.
nice.
I'm dumb. Power Mist is how you describe it. Blue sandalwood.
What is this?
fine.
This Touchland seems like the
This
the
is
it
the
girl.
girl's girl.
It is the it girl.
hand
Yeah.
sanitizer.
I've never seen this. This is an it
The
girl.
haters would say that me and Sarah are dumb for spending $7 on sanitizer spray, or maybe 15. I don't know. But the real ones know that genuinely what I like about it is that it's just so easy to like apply. It's misty. It's nice. It smells really
just
good
spray?
too. and it's kind of soft in the hands, and I think it's more easily shareable. So I do have like sometimes I do use just like a Purell pump for like $1, right? But like who doesn't? But like I like that this is easy to share, and sometimes I'll put it on like a little lanyard thing, and then you can extend it if you have the zippy ones, and then you can just spray everybody.
You are just everybody's mom at the convention. You got the shareable pills and all the little.
I'm pretty sure I used
have
Janet's deodorant at SGF. Like, I'm pretty sure I did need to use the deodorant. Came crawling back to her. Janet, I'm stinky.
My arms are open for you and your stink. And me and Jeff
and
Keighley
hers
open
are
arms.
great.
With
They're open.
Yeah.
So is the Bath and Body Works ones aren't It Girl anymore?
That's what I was using.
We're
but
moved
now
on.
they're not It Girl.
millennial. That's millennial core.
No, you can't tell me that.
There's another It Girl hand sanitizer. Sarah, do you remember what it's called? They have like a matte finish to them. They're also like in that bougie vein.
If I saw them, I would know, but not top of my head.
Yeah, I definitely realized those were the It Girl hand sanitizers when I saw them. I think at Sephora, and yeah, they were like over $10, and I was like,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
this is
Oh,
clearly for the cool girls.
The other bougie one is like Noshinku.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone's like, if you've seen this before, but I saw someone that
I
worked at
have
Xbox
those.
had the
Like it.
Noshinku, and I had
that
the
makes
other one that
sense.
was like, oh, game recognized game, and she's like, yeah, I have this is my bougie hand sanitizer. Like, I also have a bougie hand sanitizer. Yeah, pandemic,
Ooh,
but
these
make it, girly. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, these are fancy looking.
I haven't tried this one yet, but it looks very. It's like a
They're
monster
nice
tray.
because
It's
they're
pretty
really
nice.
skinny and they fit in purses. So it's not like a tube. It almost looks like you could fit it in like a clutch. Like they don't take up a lot of space.
Whoa.
Like a credit card, kind of.
I want to
Yeah.
eat these. You know what I
This is
mean?
good.
Right?
They-
You
they
can. No one's stopping you. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I want to unwrap it and
This
eat
isn't
it.
medical
I know what you
advice,
mean.
but you
I
could
like
you could do
these.
whatever you want with these.
There's something
Yeah, I don't
about
wanna
these.
try the new Shinko
the
ones.
girl who played Matilda. Oh, that's just a whole different girl. That looked like the girl who played Matilda in the Matilda movie, but grown up. Sorry.
Bring a little
tangent.
luxury to your everyday. There's nothing wrong with it. I know I'm getting a scam, but
You
I'm happy to be
deserve it.
scammed. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, I'm really into perfumes lately, and that is like, that's all they are. Is like, you totally can just get a one that's $30 and is really good. Or you can get little tiny small versions of really bougie ones and always have really bougie ones on you. And feel great.
Way to go.
Oh, you guys are influencing me to want to buy all these things I do not need, but I
Stop
want.
Wait, yeah, I don't want to be
influencing me.
I don't want to be like a capitalist podcast. Let's not. You don't need all this stuff, but if you
don't
need
need
to
this.
give yourself a little treat, you do deserve.
If you want to con like Sarah, you're gonna need the better, Which honestly, I do be taking stuff from Sarah. Like Sarah, you have really good taste in like items.
Oh, thank you.
Like things that I'll be like lurking on, like the hovering over the purchase. I'm like, oh, Sarah already has this. It's like if you're like a little bit the blueprint for good products. So.
I do be purchasing. I do be making my
Yeah.
purchases, and it usually is the trendy stuff.
Do you want to
Yeah.
go
I'm
in
easily
and show
convinced.
everything that else that's in your bag, rapid fire style? We can go through what else everyone.
Okay,
packs
what
in?
about other people's business cards? Because I don't
at
take
the
these
bottom
out.
of my bag.
bottom?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have them on.
So
me,
I've
but
been
I do
carrying
have a
around
lot.
Ana Diaz's Polygon business card with me for like
Nice.
years. This is my
Nice.
emotional support business card from Ana Diaz.
Cute.
I have a few others, but hers is my favorite, obviously.
I love that. Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah,
of
what are
those
my
in there.
annoying? What are the ones that are like hanging on here?
There's usually a few at the bottom that I just never remove.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got in there, Sarah?
Oh, I have like a mask, just in case.
Oh yeah, smart.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yours is cute
Smart.
too. It's
oh
the
my
real Akuma.
God.
Oh my god, my Rilakkuma mask.
Cute.
And that's
Cute.
pretty much it for me. I try to travel light because usually
What
they
is your
give you
bag?
stuff. Oh, mine's just my normal purse.
Oh,
So like I
okay.
try to make it as small as possible because I don't want it to take up space, and also I need it. I'm so small. If I use a big bag, I look like a toddler going to kindergarten. Like I like kindergarten
Yes.
with the big backpack. I need to use a small bag.
It can consume you, yeah, for sure.
Fair.
I don't have any business cards right now. I must have cleaned them out, but I do have this random Pokemon card. So
That could be Haley's business card, and we wouldn't even know.
I look like that.
Exactly.
I look like that guy. Audio listeners,
orders.
a man with a fire red mohawk mullet thing was shown. That is not me. Hello. Yuck.
My bag rapid fire is that I use the Fajal Raven Hankin tote for my bag. which Sarah, I think you also have this. So again, I'm just kind of like, I'm either
I use that
accidentally or
when I need to
purposefully
bring my laptop
copying you.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like it because you can wear it like on your shoulder like a tote, which is generally my preference. But if it gets heavy or I get tired, I can convert it to a backpack. Only con is the other strap does like dangle and it looks a little dumb, but it is useful for that. I'll do sunglasses, prescription sunglasses as a must, because sometimes it's sunny and that's annoying. I have my bullet journal, which is just a moleskin that I write in.
Cool.
Wallet. Sometimes I'll bring like another Daiso thing is like a small tote bag that can fold down into like a little keychain thing. Like if you end up buying stuff or getting extra stuff and you don't end up running out of space. A Zag is I love iced coffee, but I run really cold and my hands get really cold. So I bought this thing. I'm just an influencer. This thing called the Java sock, which is just like a little koozie that can hold your coffee. And
That's
I
such
just
an
love that 'cause
influencer name
I
for
know.
a freaking
Wait, I need
koozie.
one
Java
too, though,
sock.
because then it gets
And
all
it looks
wet and
really
it kind of
cute.
pees on
Yes.
you a little bit, and your hands are all
Exactly.
moist.
Also, too, like there's nothing worse than like being that person that ruins someone's booth, and like if the condensation is coming off your coffee and like dripping onto the table, it's like I don't want to do that. That's bad.
You guys are considerate. At first, I was like, "Wow, there are people who use koozies. That's crazy. I've never met one of them." But that, you're doing it to be considerate. That's nice.
And then always some type of snack. You're gonna get hungry, you might run out of time to eat, so it's like I have like a Nutri-Grain bar.
Smart.
Is usually it.
I always
think
bring a
that's
protein
about
bar.
it.
Oh, if I'm hungry enough to eat a protein bar.
Yeah. For sure. And a portable charger, obviously. I
Yeah,
usually do
of course.
the ones that are MagSafe. I'm big on those because they're like super thin and you can just like slap it onto the back of your phone, which is like super convenient. But that's what I rock with. Sometimes I'll bring like a laptop if needed, but
I like
try
that
to
bag
avoid it because it's just
choice.
too heavy.
I like the toteness of that because I just kind of want to be having like only a shoulder thing going on.
One day I want to get a more like elevated version of it, like when I want to feel fancier, like if it's not a con just for work, like I'd love like a leathery version of that, but I haven't really found something that can convert in the same way, so we'll see.
Fair enough. Kelsey, what's in the rest of your bag?
I don't have much else. It's pretty much just like my wallet, my keys, and then like a power bank, which I don't actually have in my bag right now. I forgot. But yeah, that's kind of it, and just like my other medications and whatnot. But yeah, it's I
You don't
also
gotta flash
just
those on the
usually-
screen.
Yeah, I also just usually use my purse when I'm going to conventions because it's usually just hanging behind me. It's a Min and Mon purse. Which
I love that.
gosh.
You've
That
probably
is really
seen the
cute.
Instagram ads. They worked on me.
No, I've never
also
heard
saw
of
those
what's
Instagram
this
ads.
brand?
No, I like that.
What's it called?
Min and Mon?
Min and Mon.
Min and
Yeah.
Mon.
They do like nice bags, but they also look a little weird.
It's like a little-
I love
like
that.
eyeballs on them and stuff.
I might try to convert into a purse this year for PAX because I finally have a purse that's like a little bit on the bigger end that can like fit my notebook. So maybe I can finally like
Yeah. I
For me,
carry
it's
more
like-
things
a bit.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's whatever would get me through security the fastest. And that's why I go
That's
with
fair.
a small purse, so then they just like I can just pop
Yeah.
it open and keep moving.
Smart. My bag is a bagoo. I like bagoo.
cute.
It's just like this brown one they sold a few years ago, and I just literally wear it every single day. I love it. Little keychain to be fun. It's like a Twilight Princess keychain. What I always have in here is just like my wallet, whatever. I always have a puffer case. Oh, look, money got stuck to it because it's magnetized. For my sunglasses, because like I just be flip flopping back and forth, and I've actually bent sunglasses in my bag before, and I was like, never again. So I saw this like little puffer one, so that's always in my bag too. Gum. I always have gum. This is strawberry, but it's usually mint. I just was feeling like strawberry one day. Bunch of business cards. I have some cards I pulled at the bar. I didn't mean to keep these in here.
Pokemon
I genuinely
cards.
didn't know these were in here.
No, you gotta keep them in there and then show people that you're stuck in line with.
Yeah. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this gay duck I pulled. Isn't he cute? And a weird thing I do have in here is a little fidget toy. It's a little Pokeball
Oh, fun.
that's
fidget
cute.
toy. So it's like magnetized. I bought it off Etsy, and all it does is just kind of stick together. And it's just, I'm just a nail picker. If I'm anxious or like I'm waiting for something to happen, I sit there and I pick my nails.
Same.
So yeah, I bring this, and it's like if I'm waiting outside a room for something to start or whatever, I grab this instead, and then I don't pick my nails. I just kind of like switch it around. It's just like a little one. I think this has messed up some of my debit card's ability to tap though.
Oh, because of magnet.
Because of the magnet. I think it has.
You gotta get a fidget that's not magnet.
Yeah.
That's my big fear. Like whenever the hotel key is always like, if you put this by
same.
anything, it's
Yeah.
gonna rub off and you're gonna be stranded. I'm like, oh my God.
You're
where
locked
do I
out.
put it?
No one's gonna help
Where
you.
do I put it?
Yeah, so I put it a little. I have an inside pocket that I specifically put that in the hopes that maybe it doesn't magnetize all my stuff. But you know, what can you do? I got a couple of these suckers. These are the free ones that I got at IKEA. They're tampons.
Well, IKEA has tampons.
What is it?
Yeah, they're
What is
Tampax tampons, y'all. Hello.
Oh.
We gotta have a couple of those.
And they're from IKEA. Oh, probably in like the restroom.
Yeah. They were like, and these ones like have cardboard wrapped around them already, so it's a bit discreet. So I was like, these are my new purse ones, just for going out.
Good.
Going out and being
yeah.
free. My keys are in here, and then like my fun thing that I've already shown multiple times is like my business card thing, but I'm keeping it in a Pokemon card box because it's the only thing that fits them. But I ordered
Because they're Pokemon cards.
because they're Pokemon cards, yeah. So I ordered on Etsy a really cute little like thing to hold poker playing cards in, and it was like $20,
Nice.
and they lets you add your initials. So I just put my little initials on it. So then I'll have a cute little
Cute.
leather
Love
thing.
Etsy.
I love
You
Etsy.
You're always
You're keeping
like
Etsy
lawyer
in
on
business.
I do be keeping Etsy in business. Support little artists. Wee. But I like little things. But I think this year I might bring a bigger bag. I don't know. Is this too big? This is like the next size up for the Bagoo.
It doesn't look too big.
It doesn't look
No.
too big. This is like
I'm honestly surprised all that fits in the other size because the size
Yeah.
you showed was like it looked small.
because I want to bring this year, my journal,
Yeah.
to write down my appointments and stuff like that, or meetings that I have pre-booked, and I just don't. It just is a bit too big for this small one. But it's like, do I upgrade the whole thing just for that? And then I have a way bigger bag. I'm kind of on the fence.
well,
Maybe
what's the bag size? Like according to is it the medium crescent? Is that what you're working
This
with?
is
or
the small, and I believe this
small?
is the medium.
the meat? Okay, I think that's okay. Like I still have not had a Bagoo yet. I am thinking of pulling the trigger at some point this year, but I'm holding off to try to be better about buying a million bags and never going
Finn and I are
outside.
doing a no buy challenge right now.
I know,
No
which-
buy month.
Oh no,
Kelsey, I bought a pair of
Oh,
jean
no.
shorts yesterday, but it's because I had to go to Coachella and it was really hot, and I don't own any shorts. So I was like, and then
Okay,
I should tell
that's-
Kelsey,
yeah.
but then I didn't. But then you brought it up right now, and I felt guilty, and I'm just like,
That's okay.
But I didn't buy
I
anything
almost-
else, and I didn't buy a shirt there. I was looking at the shirts real hard, and I said,
Wow.
you know what? I don't need this
That's
shirt.
big of you.
that's brave.
So yeah, thank you.
I almost bought a shirt the other day at the thrift store. It would have only been $6, and I was like, well, it's not very much. And then I was like, nope, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not the point
Every
of the
day.
no buy.
The temptations are just
Tough.
getting thrown in my face. But yeah, I think that size, as I've eyed that size, it's not that big. The large crescent is kind of huge. Medium, I think that's a regular bag size. I think
Okay,
it'd be good.
cool. It's just I just don't want it to be too clunky, dunky, hanging on the
Yeah.
side. You know, I'm kind of trying to
Well,
go
like
for
bring the other one, and if you don't like it, switch probably. you
fair.
know?
Yeah.
And I think I told you
smart
all
way to
the
go.
story of how I brought this one to Vancouver, and I have a Cloud Strife sword keychain on here, and I got pulled into a room to talk to because they thought this was a legit knife in like the screening thing.
Can you believe this girl just keeping knives on her bag?
It's
Is it even sharp?
it's made of
Codbuster sword?
This is what it sounds like on the desk. It's pretty
Oh,
metally.
it's kind of heavy.
But it's the bluntest thing alive. Like, it's not a sharp thing. But I was going through and they scanned my bag and they go, "Do you have a knife in here?" Like, not in a like inquisitory way, but like in a "you're in big trouble, Missy." And my first thought was, "Oh God, did I bring a knife from the hotel?" Like, I don't.
The nightmare is happening again. Yeah.
Literally, it felt like a bad dream. And then they put me in a side room and they're like, "We found a small knife in your bag. We're opening your bag." I was like, "Okay." And they opened it. They're like, "Oh, it's this." I was like, "Oh my!" I was like, "Assholes!" Like that's my. I had to be like, "That's my Cloud Strife Final Fantasy keychain." They're like, "Okay," and they let me through, and like it didn't matter. But I was like, "Damn it, that's embarrassing."
Feel like I'm a Final Fantasy 7 fan myself, so now I can go through now, even though I didn't recognize the sword somehow. I stopped playing before he got to that part. I don't know.
But yeah, I love hearing that kind of stuff because now I'm gonna go buy this. What is this? Nosferatu hand sanitizer.
The
No shinku.
Noshinku. Let me know how you like it because I don't have that one. It's like the bougie one.
The
I haven't tried
Noshinkus
yet,
are a
so.
lot smaller than the Touchlands. They don't carry as much product.
They're so cute.
So Yeah.
But they're like sleeker, so it's like I don't know.
What color should I get? I'm seeing a black, a green, a blue, pink.
You can
They're
usually,
different. They're
yellow.
different scents.
Yeah. You gotta pick your
You have to choose
flavors.
a scent.
Why are you calling
Yeah.
it flavor, Sarah?
You gotta pick your flavors.
You said you want to eat them, right?
Hand sanitizer. That's
You don't
what-
test
You
them
guys
on your
have-
phone?
Yeah. Do you guys have like flavor scents that you prefer that you're like, this is my scent? Do you feel
No,
strongly
I want to
about that?
find it.
Yeah.
I want to like work on that this year.
I feel like
'cause
I
want like a
haven't
bougie
found mine.
scent to like get to enjoy. I like florals, but it's sometimes they like lean a little too like it smells like someone's like mom.
Yeah,
or
grandma vibes,
and I'm like
yeah.
that's maybe a little too much. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, I could talk for a while about perfume because I like it, but I like I don't have like one scent, I guess, but I like spicy sweet stuff.
Ooh, okay.
Sweet stuff. So I have a lot of stuff that's got like cinnamon and pepper and cardamom and nutmeg and that sort of thing.
Interesting.
Nice.
And it,
Ooh.
I don't really
And the
make hand
holiday
sanitizer in
flavors.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
I like
No, I
something
called them
good.
flavors again. Sarah got in my head.
I didn't,
Like a
clock, I didn't
gingerbread.
clock it when Janet said it, but for some reason I always clock it when Sarah says it. I'm a woodsy girl. I kind of like a little like a slight tree kind of smell, but like other
Yeah.
things. So it's not just that, but I kind of
Yeah.
it's like sort of like an androgynous kind of smell. I like kind
Yeah.
of like it being in the
Yeah.
middle because I've always been more attracted to like male scents on things. But then
I know.
I don't want to just smell
The
like a boy
unisex
though.
ones?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
gotta talk about all this offline. I wanna, yeah, absolutely. I love a good scent. It's such a powerful thing.
Truly.
Okay. Oh, should we move into show and tell?
Let's move into show and tell.
Yeah.
Okay, our next segment. Our next segment is called Show and Tell because Show and Tell is fun. So what we're gonna start with, and I think we'll probably do a little edit cut real quick, is we're gonna wear all of our lanyards from all the conventions that we've been to. Are you guys ready?
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me a sec.
Oh
Oh my god.
God.
You.
It's really dense.
Yeah. That is crazy.
It's so
Oh my god.
thick
Wait, can
at
you
the
turn to the
top.
side? Can you turn to the
Yeah.
side? I need to see.
Audio listeners,
like that's where-
Kelsey
that's really where-
has
my
dozens
God.
and dozens of lanyards on. Literally too many to count.
You literally went up like 5 cup sizes putting those lanyards on. Like.
And then here's a few that I just don't have lanyards for.
That just didn't have a lanyard.
Oh my god.
Is-
Is it heavy? Wearing all your
Very
success?
heavy. Part of it being heavy though is like some of these I bought pins that year or whatever and put it on the lanyard and never thought about it again. So a couple of these have pins on them too. See if I can find one.
Wow.
I guess this is a
I
year
see a
where I was
pin.
still playing League of Legends.
Oh
Where'd it
no.
There it is. It's
The
hiding.
Annie pin.
nice.
PAX
God.
2017. I was not still playing League of Legends in 2017. What was I doing?
A free pin's a free pin.
I love how the year is
Yeah.
attached so you know for sure what year it is. It's just like guaranteed.
That's
Oh
a
my
MagFest
gosh.
pin, but that just came with it. That's not exciting. Oh, that's cute. Look, little Animal
what?
Crossing
Animal
charm
Crossing.
on SakuraCon 2018
Cute.
and a little Swablu.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are some of those Pink Gorilla
is-
branded lanyards and some of those
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, like when I think about it, I try to always put my lanyard for whatever event I'm at on a Pink Gorilla lanyard. But sometimes I
sense.
forget or don't, and yeah, then it's just on whatever lanyard they give us.
Oh my goodness. That's insane. There's so many. What a flex. You win the gamer gold for Gamer Olympics.
Gamer Gold! This is the medal right here! I'm gonna try to find like one of the coolest ones. So MagFest does really cool ones. You have to pay extra for
What?
these, but they're like little
yeah.
video games on here. I'm sure the batteries are dead on this, so I don't know if I can turn on.
That's so cool.
Yeah. They do some really cool stuff.
Is that a Final Fantasy 14 one? That purple
Yeah.
one?
I think there have been several conventions like over many years that have done Final Fantasy 14.
I feel like
Fantasy
it's such a
always
win when
has
the
the
lanyard
money.
actually has a game on that you like. Like this
Yeah.
one. has
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon. That's always such a
this-
win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Check
I've
out
got
this
one
this
also.
E3 one. I lost the little card that had my name on it, but this was an E3 one. it's a really good double whammy. It's 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim and Yakuza 6.
That's the one. That's the only one I have.
Oh, yay!
That's the only E3 I went to.
This is the year 2019 was the last year, and you can tell that they were going out of business.
Oh,
Yeah,
They were
Look
Look
fun
how
in
much
it.
more fun this looks back then. Yeah, what the hell?
I have my 2016 one, I think. Hang on.
I loved these with the little sleeve because you could keep the business cards in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
The
This
sleeve
one,
is
I think-
good.
The Persona 5 one, I
that's
think,
really
was
cool.
2016.
Oh, I love that one.
That looks really
Yeah.
cool.
That's sick.
West Hall Booth 4810.
Shouts out.
It's crazy how they try to
can't miss it.
advertise with lanyards. Too. Like they
Yeah.
try to
Yeah.
put like little advertisements in them.
I know. Wow. R.I.P.
This has got to be real rustly on the camera.
ASMR.
on the microphone.
All right, everyone do
Yeah.
ASMR on the camera. Mine aren't as fun.
Ooh.
Wow. All right, come
Leo,
on.
cut that if it
come on
sucked.
in. Come on into E3.
Some of these apparently aren't even on.
Welcome to E3. It's back. You're in heaven now.
or hell.
Yeah, when you die, where are you when you wake up? You're at E3.
You're at E3. In the bathrooms at E3. Oh, yeah. Sarah, show us some of yours. Nice.
One of my favorite ones is when we went to SGDQ in
Yeah.
Minneapolis. They had like little chows on their lanyard.
Oh, that's really
so
cute.
cute.
And I feel like that's one
Wow.
of the cutest
Wait.
ones I've ever seen.
Love
Press
that.
number 2? Why are
Yeah,
you
Ben
number
was
2?
press number 1.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, so
you
you're
believe
the
that?
number 2?
Yeah, I'm number 2.
The founder of the company's number 1.
Always the press
believe
number
that?
2, never the press number 1.
Ugh, the audacity.
Why are they even numbering it that way? That's kind of weird.
Just like
don't know, I think-
mental games.
Yeah.
You know how it is. It's all
They can keep
it's all
track
of how many
politics,
press they've let in.
Haley. Yeah.
It's messed up.
Keep you humble.
I don't have any like
humble,
fun
yeah.
ones. Summer Game Fest ones are good. The E3 ones are too
Yeah,
big.
nice colors.
Yeah.
BlizzCon's a cool one. This is
Oh, that's cool.
BlizzCon.
I haven't done that.
They don't put a year on it. so I
BlizzCon's
guess
so
we'll never know.
cool.
It was cool.
Do you have any Overwatch League ones?
It was the Overwatch World one, I think, where they did like the All-Star teams.
Cool.
I got Anime Expo.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Neat.
Summer Games Fest. I feel like the weirdest one is the Game Awards because for whatever reason they want it to be a triangle the year that I went.
Ooh.
That's cool.
That's
it's like a
cool.
little
Triangle
Dorito.
Pixel.
It is like a
I'm
little
press 42
Dorito.
on this one.
Okay.
That's pretty high up.
Wow.
Out of
Press
everyone in the
42.
world.
Working the red carpet.
It's weird that they're numbered rather than named.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to learn our names. Let's be honest. They're like, okay,
It might
press number
just-
42.
It might feel
This is your
easier
red
to,
carpet spot.
to call out if someone's faking it, though. Like if your name
Yeah.
on there was like clearly not your name or something, or I guess anyone could be named.
I feel like it
anything.
was just, yeah, you were just showing up for companies and they were like, okay, you're the people from XYZ. Like, here's your whatever.
interesting.
We're not giving you a special one with your name on it.
Janet, what are you rocking?
You guys have
I got these ones.
a lot of Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Well,
Xbox.
that's what they say about me. A big Xbox head over here, but no, I play all the big three, you know. Anyway, but yeah, most of mine, I honestly feel like mine are like cheating because I think I've gotten like multiples from certain events. So like for instance, I have like an Avengers one, but that was just from E3 2019 where they let me see Avengers and they gave me like a badge to see Avengers, and then I was like, guys, I don't think this game looked that good. And everyone's like, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be okay. And yeah, that was kind of an interesting one. But I think for funsy ones, one of my favorites is the Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
oh, that's cool.
Companies, I live in LA. Let me go to your thing and cover your thing. This is really cool. I got to do this on
is
behalf of Kind of
big.
Funny.
That's,
Yeah, they were like, hey, can you? This was like from last year actually, or maybe 2 years ago. 2 years, September 2023. And they were Kind of Funny was like, oh, do you want to go and just look at the Last of Us thing they have and make a TikTok for us? And I'm like, the easy gig, yeah, sure. And then I get this press credential. I got to take my brother as well, which was dope. So like after we did our little bit of work, got a park hot dog and then rode some rides, and it was just a
Sick.
good time. And it was
Nice.
I guess it was a nice, fun crossover of like every now and then, like working in the games industry, you get to do stuff that's like barely the games industry, and then kind of get to see how the other half live. It's like, oh, if I was doing like a different kind of content. Like what kind of cool stuff could I check out? So yeah, that's probably like my main highlight. I agree with you too, Sarah. The SGF colors are kind of more on the fun end of the spectrum for badge credentials and all that.
Neat. You guys have
Haley, what are you rocking with?
I got barely any. I got my 1E3. This was my one. I was working for Twinfinite at the time, which I think got acquired in that big acquired, like all the game sites thing that happened recently.
Oh yeah.
And then I have 2 GDCs. They added the pronoun badges to GDC last year, like a little ribbon you attach to the bottom. I thought that was really cute. I liked that. And then my local con, HalCon.
Nice.
HalCon?
Dozens of people attend HalCon.
What is HalCon? Is it gaming?
It's there's gaming. I went in 2021.
Wait, can we go to HalCon? Can that be like?
I would. Let's go
That'd
to
be
HalCon.
fun.
This
Let's
sounds
go to
fun.
HalCon.
It's like
Let me look this up.
we don't even get a celebrity or anything.
We'll be the celebrity.
the way
big draw.
that's true.
MinnMax
Kelsey
panel at HalCon.
Pew Pew
Oh,
Bang is
sci-fi
coming
and
to
fantasy.
HalCon. Yeah.
Yo, I'll go to HalCon.
It's cute. It's very small.
The mascot is, you should have led with this, Haley. The mascot is like a robot man.
Yeah, it is a robot
Person?
man. It is a little robot.
It's like a robot
guy.
person, but it's like a robot the way we thought robots would look 50 years ago. We're like, this is what we think of when we think of a robot, right?
That's a great
And
way
it's
to
like,
put it.
with the little hands and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
I'll pull up at
a
HalCon.
building?
So
That's
yeah,
a robot. That's not a building.
we have
No,
like
is it-
it's
I don't know. What is it?
Oh, it turns into a robot.
It's a building that turns into a robot. So we have Citadel Hill where I'm from. So we used to be like a main port for like the war and stuff. Like we were a channel that all the ships had to go through. And so we have in the middle of our city a massive hill with that little building on it that people used to like, they're coming, eastward bound, and like stuff. But now it just, you can go up there and they have like a museum and you can go in the fort and look around or whatever. But it's such a random quirk of our city. There'll just be buildings everywhere and this random citadel fort, just like right in the center of our main core downtown. And people go up there at nighttime and drive and park and hook up there. That's what it's known for. Yeah.
That's great. Also, Haley,
Wow.
it's got Sean Astin and Alan Tudyk at the next HalCon.
That was a good one. Well, I will say that they popped off there. But the pre-COVID, it was like they got sometimes some decent people, but it's HalCon. We're not expecting much. If we get like I voiced a background character in Naruto, we're like, whoa, they're coming. That sounds good. That's kind of
We need to go to HalCon. That's what I've learned from this.
We're gonna go tear up HalCon.
Let's freaking do it. There's a good like artist alley with like a bunch of local people selling really cute things. That's what I go to it for, is to go
I love
buy a
artist
bunch
alleys.
of buy
Same.
little prints and little pins and all that kind of stuff. That's what I love.
I gotta do my Canadian currency conversion.
Oh,
Though every
gosh.
time I go to Canada, I'm like, wait a sec.
You guys
is
are
this
rich.
really expensive or really cheap?
No, you guys
I
are
can't tell.
rich. It's like when
Not
I come
for long, Haley. Just wait a little bit. Wait a little bit.
when I come to the US, I'm like, $10 sounds great. And then like later on I get home, I'm like, I've spent $80,000. Like, oh my God,
Oh,
everything
no.
just exponentially triples as soon as I'm home and
I
look at
think-
my own bank account.
I think it's tough to look at a currency that is like, yeah, a smaller amount is more money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if like our $10 is what, like $14 for you guys or
Yeah,
something
like
like that. So I
$13.50.
feel like it'd be really, really easy to start getting, letting that slip away from you, being like, oh, $10 is nothing. But every time you do that, it's,
It's like you have to pretend that you need to add $10 almost to it in your brain. Otherwise, you'll do that slippy and you're just like,
Yeah.
$40 for dinner? Sure. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you've spent thousands. That's genuinely what it feels like. Slash like buying things online.
Also,
you're like,
you're going to San
$100.
Francisco.
I know.
You keep going to GDC, so you keep going to like the place where it is the most expensive to buy food.
It's ridiculous. They like,
That's the best way to do it because you get forged in the fire, and then everywhere else you're like, this isn't too bad. If you like just disillusion yourself enough, nothing can hurt you
true.
anymore.
That's why Janet really liked Minneapolis and the Mall of America.
Yeah.
She was like, this
Oh,
is
looking
great.
good.
Y'all have that like what is because it's like no taxes on the clothes or something there or
Yeah.
something for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm
no
still.
tax on
I'm
clothes.
telling you, I'm
New
gonna
York,
pull
too.
up. I'm gonna save up. I'm gonna pull up. Catch me at that Margaritaville if you want to see me because I'm gonna be at that Mall of
You're
America.
gonna stay in one of the hotels that are attached to the Mall of America. so you can
Yes.
door bus.
Janet,
taking
I
in the
will do that
local
with you.
culture. Like let's go. Which was funny because when I
love
visited
Mall of
there.
America.
I had to kill time before the airport. So I was like, oh, let me go to this art museum because I'm really into art museums. And the taxi guy or the Uber guy was like, oh, it's cool that you're like actually going to like, something cold. You're not just the Mall of America. And I'm like, I just went to the Mall of America yesterday. It ripped. Like, Yeah.
I love it in there.
Haley, if you ever want stuff from, because what is it? Because it's like you buy stuff and it's just like you have to pay the taxes like to get it shipped. Is that what makes it so expensive to buy like from U.S. companies? Or is it just the combination of the inflated price? And
They
all
do
that?
the duties.
Changing every day right now, so
It truly is. It's like you're paying 30% more right off the bat. There's that because our conversion rate. And then it's like, okay, I want to ship it to Canada. They're like, we either don't ship it to Canada or what the hell? Extra $20 for shipping then. And you're like, Jesus Christ. And then when it comes, sometimes you get the duties and sometimes you don't, but they'll slap on, they're like $50. And you're like, why? Like, why are you doing that to me? Like, it's like so frustrating. And, like my sister and I always, when we do order Bagu, we do it like once every 2 years. It's like a whole, like, we go, it's coming up, like 2026.
If you want me to be your Bagu plug, I'll buy stuff and just hand it off to you.
Jeez,
I don't mind.
Because we got $120 duties on that order we did. That wasn't even that much money. They slap it on.
God.
It's crazy. It's like buying a whole nother bag, but it's just to get it over here.
I'll bring it to GDC.
But it's like the shipping is rough no matter what to Canada because like I'm in Seattle and there are times where people want something shipped to Vancouver, which is like I could drive it up there in 2.5 hours. But shipping the smallest thing is like $25.
It's crazy.
And it doesn't make a lot of sense. Do you guys have a favorite thing you want to show off that you've gotten at a convention?
Yeah.
I don't buy too many things on there, but I do like Artist Alley. And oh my God, I forgot the name of this guy. So I'm a fake Pokemon fan. Haley, maybe you'll know because you're like obsessed with these guys.
Who's this guy?
What is it? He's
Lotad.
Like, is it Lotad?
Lotad.
Is that the little one though?
Cute.
Yeah, is the little one Lotad?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a Lotad, but he has like a petal head. For those who need a refresher on who he is. But on top of his head is just a bunch of fruit. And I'm like, oh, this is so great.
Fruit cup.
And it made me appreciate Lotad more. So yeah, it's just like a little key kind of chain or like, you could put it on like handhelds or whatever.
Cute.
Yeah, I've had it for a long time. Probably my favorite, but I don't shop too much at gaming stuff usually.
Cute.
Haven't had the pleasure.
I like that it's a Pokemon thing for you. That's cute.
Mine is I got a fake trading card from a now defunct trading card game. This is at Anime Expo, and it was a booth where you could come up and like take a photo, and they would put you on a card.
That's so fun.
So I did it when I had breaks at Anime Expo. I went, and now I have a permanent Shadowverse card of myself drinking a bottle of water because I thought that I was like really sick and cool.
That is awesome. Why isn't that framed?
You are really
Sarah?
sick and cool.
There we go.
That should be framed.
I was like,
That's
I'm
great.
hydrating.
That's amazing.
It's important.
And it's like,
Hydrate.
it's actually a pretty good card.
It's a very nice
That's the
trading
coolest
card.
thing I've gotten from like a booth for free.
Neat.
Nice.
Kelsey?
I love
And then I
all
also got
Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
a Bob plush. I think at Anime Expo, someone was making like custom Animal Crossing plushies.
Wow.
Oh my God.
He's my
custom?
favorite.
That's not from
Yeah,
Nintendo?
well, it's like-
that looks great.
No, this is like homemade.
Oh my
Animal
God.
Crossing. And this was like before New Horizons came out and everything. So like, I'm not saying Animal Crossing was underground, but like it wasn't the merch horse that it is now, I feel like.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was like very sick.
Cute.
And then I also got, I think this is from 2D Con in Minnesota, but I got a Mauschli from Resident Evil 4. Because there was like a meme that it was like, cheese, Leon, cheese! Like, and so Mauschli is like a very specific meme around Resident Evil 4. Yeah,
Very
Mauschli.
cute.
So those are my 3 things.
I love keychains. I'm such a keychain fiend.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, actually, I think I do know where all of my weird keychains have gone. So you go next.
Okay, I'll go next. I bought this at E3. This is a Trico stuffy.
What?
It's so cute. There was
Officially licensed?
officially licensed. PlayStation had like a truck outside or something and they were selling things. I've had this thing on my shelf for years, and what really fascinated me about this thing was my dog Coco, RIP. She died at 18, so she lived a long life, no worries. She never liked toys. This is the only toy she liked. She liked the Trico dog, the Trico toy. And I was like, what the hell?
She could sense how pure Trico is.
Maybe. Like, but look at this thing. It's insane. It's just like this weird half. It's not the cutest.
Trico
looking
looks
stuff
kind of
yet.
scary
Big.
in
You
this
don't-
format, not gonna lie.
You don't like him, Janet? You don't like him?
Also,
Has
the thing about
has the wing been
Trico,
chewed on?
He's just actually, yeah, probably because I let her play. She was old. I was like, play with him, have fun. But yeah,
no, it's so valid. What's the name of that game again? I'm blanking on
The
it.
Last Guardian.
The Last Guardian. That game is. I don't know why. I did work at GameStop for a time, but just really quick, and it was seasonal, so it wasn't from that. Different years, but maybe I went to GameStop a lot at the time in my life. But when that game was coming out, y'all remember GameStop TV, where it's like they have the commercials, like trailers for like the games, but they also maybe sometimes have occasional host will sit down and be like, "Oh, at GameStop, we're selling blah blah."
Yeah, it was
the
like,
commercial.
It was like Andrea Renee on that, right?
I don't know if Andrew was it, but I know. Oh my God, this Meg Cayley was on there for a while. Shout out to Meg.
Oh,
who
yeah,
still
yeah.
works in the
Oh, I
industry.
think I know what you're talking about.
But I remember like the freaking Last Guardian commercial is like tattooed in my brain. It kind of makes me hate the game, even though I've never played it. But they're like, and Trico's this stuff, but he doesn't always tell you. He doesn't always do what he's supposed to, or whatever. And I'm just like, ugh, like, it's like it would just play all day. And it's one of those things where I know the workers were probably like just like always sick of the trailers that they would show. But
Valid.
I don't know. That is my Last Garden experience. But you and your story with your dog is a much nicer memory for me to
Loved this
superimpose.
thing. There's like a little
very
hole under
nice.
his armpit from her. And she literally didn't play with toys like past age 10. She never touched a toy again, except for this Trico doll. She was like, yes, give that to me. And then I posted a tweet about her playing with it, and I'm forgetting his name, but the creator of The Last Guardian liked my tweet. And I was like, how did you find that? Because I didn't write The Last Guardian
Okay,
in
Google
it.
alerts.
Literally, I didn't write The Last Guardian. I just wrote the only thing she plays with or something like that. And then he liked it.
Oh wow! Someone
And I was
probably
like,
sent it to him. That's crazy.
Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that must have been the only reason, because that was like pre-MinnMax, where I had to tell my boyfriend to like my posts. It was like, so. But so he found it somehow. But I don't know. Whenever I see this thing, I always just like kind of think of that, even though it's like had nothing
Yeah,
to do with
that's
the
sweet.
game. I'm like, this is the thing Coco liked. So that's been on my shelf ever since. I don't let Sable play with it because she's a lab and she would destroy it in 2 swings. So he's up on a shelf. Kelsey?
Well, I can't find the coolest stuff that I've bought. I just have a few things that I've gotten. One of them is the stupid Wii U.
Oh, I want those.
That's so
sick. We
But
But I sell
actually,
those for so much now.
probably.
my
Use
favorite
sunglasses, yeah.
story is this stupid hoodie. I'm gonna be shocked if any of you guys even remember what this is. It's not from very many years ago. Axie Infinity. Any of you guys remember
What the
Axie
hell is
Infinity?
that?
Infinity.
That was one of the NFT games. That was the big NFT game.
Oh.
The one that actually like made a bunch of money for a while. So the funny story behind this was just like NFT year at GDC. Haley, I'm sure were you there at that year where it was like every other booth was an
Yeah,
NFT
and
thing?
then the next year switched to AI right after.
Yeah. So every booth was an NFT. It was just like the hot thing. Everyone was making fun of it, of course. These were all people who had never like been to GDC before until their weird NFT thing. And a lot of these NFT companies were throwing these like lavish parties that, because they weren't really in the industry, like kind of anyone could get into. It wasn't really like in most cases, it is like you need to know someone, you need to be invited. But I went to the Axie Infinity party because you could just walk in and it was like free drinks, free food, like the whole 9 yards. It was fantastic. They were giving out these Axie Infinity hoodies. And I was like, this is so funny. This thing is going to be dead in like 6 months. I have to get one of these to like commemorate
Not you
this
go into the
crazy
post-mortem.
experience.
To beat the casket.
So the best thing about this, though, within the next 24 hours after that party, a big news story came out that all of the money had been stolen. It was all gone. Axie Infinity was dead.
Oh my gosh.
It was the next day. It was insane. And so I had
So how'd you spend the money, Kelsey?
I had just gotten done like drinking their champagne and like, eating their like hors d'oeuvres.
as long
They're
as you had a good
terrible, by the
time.
way.
Yeah.
I did have a great time. I had a great time because there were like, it was half game industry people there and half like NFT bros that like really wanted to talk to you about NFTs and like would not understand body language or like disinterest at all. Like they just they're like, we have to connect. I'm like, at the time I was
the
with the
Bean
Video Game
Boozled
History
of
Foundation.
people, you know?
I was like, I don't understand what you think we could do for each other. Like, there's nothing here.
Well, and then they saw all that money, and you
connect.
were like, "That's an article I can preserve for you in this moment."
But NFTs are
wild.
already preserved forever on the blockchain.
Don't you know anything, Sarah?
They're
No. I just delete
anyways,
their
I love-
emails for social media managers.
That's great.
I love my stupid Axie Infinity hoodie because it
What
was
a
just I wasn't
story.
expecting it to
Great
die
story.
the next day.
That's great. Wow. Do you wear it ever, or is it just a
No,
remembrance
it's in my
piece?
closet.
Yeah.
In memoriam.
In memoriam.
The creatures did look cute, though.
They're
Some
as
sweater.
far as NFTs go, they're
They're little
all right.
circles.
Pretty cute.
Yeah, little
They're
circle
little
guys.
circles.
So I was like, what is it?
All right.
Like, when you held it up, I'm like, is this like a bootleg, like, kind of, you know, monster catcher thing? And like, oh, the NFT thing. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, our final segment of the show is something that we like to call Ping Pals, which is our community advice column where the four of us give you advice on whatever you could use some help with in your life as best as we can. Haley, you want to insert like a this advice is not legally binding where you hold us not liable?
Yeah. All information is provided as is. You hereby represent and warrant that nothing herein provided to rely on to a detriment, blah, blah, blah.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to my first GDC and have been in the industry on the business side for a couple of years now. Do you have any networking advice that could help me land future positions at other companies? And what are some things that people don't want to hear when you're networking at an event like this? I don't want to come across as transactional, and it's the only reason I'm going, but I'd like to be effective as I can. Thank you for taking my question. Best, Ruby.
That's a great question. And I think it's okay if you view it transactional because other people are going to view it transactional. You don't have to be worried about that. Obviously, read the room. And like if you're talking to somebody who doesn't view combos at GDC that way, you're then, you know, talk to them differently. But you can usually tell if someone's like, I'm looking for this. And if you're not that, they're like, all right, have a good day. And it's just like they're trying to make the most of their time. There's a ton of really good networking, like speed dating room things that are actually I low-key love. You just sit down in a chair and it's the speed date formula. You go through and someone sits up and moves and you just talk to them for a minute. It's truly GDC condensed down to you want to talk to 50 people in an hour, here you go. And you just, you know, maybe one, it's great for me because then I get to meet, 50 game devs, but what they're looking for are jobs. So I usually start the convo with, I'm not a publisher hiring, but here's what do you do? And here's what, you almost have to like break the ice because you just realize what everybody's there for. But those fill up super fast. So go to those really quick. Like if you aren't there at the front of the line, you just end up networking in the hallway outside the door because they fill up so fast that everyone just kind of goes, well, now out here is also networking because we all walked over here to go to that summit or meeting thing. So you can view it transactional though. I promise people won't be offended. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think because it is like a business oriented, like the point of GDC, I mean, I guess it's got several, but like a pretty core tenet of it is people making business deals and hiring and trying to find jobs and stuff and like that. So it's normal. And there's especially like, I mean, it really depends on, I think, what you're trying to get into. But just from my perspective, I mean, there are booths on the floor that will often say like, here are the roles we're hiring for.
Yeah.
And you don't even necessarily have to like, apply right there or anything like that. But the person who's working that booth will be able to tell you a little bit more about the roles, what exactly they're looking for in them. And then of course you can kind of like tailor your resume to that and also be like, oh, I spoke to so-and-so at the booth and, had a great time. I was really impressed by whatever. And then, you've already done something to differentiate yourself in your resume from
That's
that.
good advice.
But I do think in general, like, if you just kind of start some good conversations with people too, it's a very trade business cards kind of show. So you don't have to get into like a deep talk with anyone to at least get their contact info and then just like follow up right after that. And it can be something as simple as like, had a great time talking, and this is why you bring a pen, by the way, because you can write it on the business card. Like, had a great time talking about how good the chicken wings are next door with you at GDC. If your company's ever looking for an illustrator, or, whatever it is you do, like, keep me in mind, that kind of thing.
The
and it just
follow-up,
provides like and like those are very low pressure and low, like, you might not hear back from that, but no one is weirded out by that, offended by that. It doesn't go into the garbage. It just might not be like top of mind, but like you are not going to be upsetting anyone with that. That's kind of like just a base normal networking thing.
Maybe even if you're
not transactional.
Yeah, if you're gonna go that route, you should also have like a QR code on the bottom of your email byline where your resume is, so they can go look for it if they want. But you don't have to say, "Here's my resume." I'm being presumptuous that you're gonna read it and get back to me. And you could just have in your byline like, "Cheers," and it's like your name, whatever, like resume attached below, and then like a QR code. Then you don't even have to worry about being weird about it.
Writing on the business card, smart. I never thought to do that, actually, which
smart.
I really should start doing, because I am plagued with like, I will know a whole conversation but be like, what did this person look like again? And I just like don't remember people at all. I think too, on the business card front, definitely take pictures of the business cards you get on the off chance that you do lose them. Like I pretty much always snap a photo of that kind of stuff. I guess things to avoid, I guess, like that's so tough to hit on. I guess like maybe like coming on too strong. I guess like not engaging enough with like what the person's about, what they're doing, like making sure I guess you kind of know who you're talking to and like set and kind of get a sense of them, more than just kind of saying, hey, like I don't know, like coming in cold with just like a bunch of information rather than like engaging with them directly. I think also maybe like reading the room of what is going on, the different, like depending on the context, like if they're maybe already in a conversation, how you enter that conversation, knowing when to like go in and out of conversations. But that's kind of just general social stuff of just having to like, I think, get practice at and like get a sense of definitely having like, if you have anyone that you also know, it's always like, I always take a lot of comfort in having sort of like home bases in different things I'm doing. Even if I go to an event with someone, I end up like mingling around, like knowing I can go back to like whoever my friends are or peers and like talk to them. And rolling with the form of a squad is also a great way to like have very casual conversations where you can kind of introduce each other to like different people and not have it just be like, oh my God, I'm wandering around just like saying hello to people and trying to get a job, which might be the reality, but you don't necessarily have to feel that so much. I think just having like the goal of maybe giving out a certain amount of like your cards. An easy way is just always say like, hey, I'd love to exchange business cards. Like making sure you have business cards also is super important. Prepping all your like socials and things too, if that's relevant, like adding at GDC is always like a great little thing to do.
I do think the thing about walking around with someone is really smart too, because that does, I get, the fear of it just coming across as very like, because you are looking for a job or whatever, coming across very aggressive when you're talking to people, because it's usually like, it's clear that that's what you're here for, and that's fine. But I also totally understand wanting to not come on so strong with that. And I do think that having someone else to walk around with, even if you're not going with a friend, if you just find someone else like through any of there's a bunch of like GDC networking groups, like Facebook groups and all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. You just find one other person that seems like, hey, this is a pretty normal person, we'll vibe okay. And you're just like, you want to just walk around together. And that way when we're approaching people, it's like just more of a like group conversation and it's not as high pressure. I mean, I do think that's a really smart thing to do. Mm-hmm. I've always walked around GDC with one other person, and that has made me feel just a lot more secure starting any conversation, because you basically you back up, you got someone else who can help carry the conversation too.
Mm-hmm.
I think also like depending on where you are professionally, it might not be bad to like ham up like a little bit of like in your mind kind of what your situation is. By that I mean like I think sometimes people when they're looking for work, they're just like, oh yeah, like I'm unemployed right now, like I really need a job. And it's like, okay, it kind of gives like desperation, and then it almost feels like, wait, why has no one picked you? Should I not be talking? And it kind of like I think creates an air of negativity versus saying like, oh yeah, like I'm actually like, I do freelance right now. I'm looking for like to move into full time. Or if you're doing freelance and you're trying to build your client base, say like, oh, I'm freelance and I'm looking to expand my clients. Even if you don't have any clients, like you don't have to tell them you don't have any clients. You know what I mean?
Like from 0 to 1.
Yes, exactly. Like, and I think you got to know that, right? Like don't lie and say you can do stuff that you can't do, but having a confidence about who you are and what your skill set is, don't just say, I just graduated and I don't have a job, versus I'm a recent grad, like, ready to enter the, like, that's just the way you dress it, I think will, can kind of change also how you feel about your own work. I think it's important not to you don't want to be egotistical, but don't downplay who you are and like walk with confidence, and people will pick up on that, because they'll also pick up on the opposite, and that will be scary, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, I can't help you, but good luck. Like you want to just feel like, hey, I'm just another professional, and we're all at different stages in our career at different times. Like, walk well with that.
And if you are a recent grad, just talk about the stuff that you did in college, you still have like done work. It's just
exactly,
you just got to frame it that way.
Yeah. But I feel like for GDC specifically, you can not like stalk people, but you can tell who's going to go to GDC. People will usually like, they'll put it on social media. So like have at least like a few people that you definitely want to talk to and reach out and see if they have time for you, or just know if they're going to be like a specific talk, or if they're giving a talk, just so you don't leave feeling like you didn't talk to anyone, right? Like go in with like a few people that maybe you really look up to, whose careers you've been following, and maybe reach out ahead of time, or, go up to them after a talk or something. And also don't be afraid to talk to people outside of your specific industry, right? Like you would be surprised if you can strike up a genuine conversation with someone, even if like you're an artist and they're a developer, if they like you, they probably know someone who they can like refer you to as an artist. So it's like, don't shut people down or like put effort into conversations because you don't think someone is in like the same, like in the same industry as you. Like genuinely talk to everyone.
Except the NFT guys.
Yeah, don't talk to them.
Yeah.
They can't
even if they have jobs, don't take them.
Or the AI guys. Don't talk to those guys either.
Take the hoodie though, because you never know.
Take the hoodie for
It'll
your
be
collection.
a good story.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next question is from an anonymous person. It says, one of the gifts I received from my partner on Christmas was a cute squirrel shirt. Squirrels are my favorite animal. However, I later realized that the artwork on the shirt was probably AI generated, as the squirrel has one too many legs. I know she did not realize it was an AI image when she bought the shirt from me, but now I feel apprehensive to wear it in public. Should I mention it to her or pretend I never noticed?
Oh,
this is a
loaded question.
Yeah,
it depends
really
on
is.
How well you know them. Like, how would they react?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you know your partner pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, what's your partner's stance on AI, which is a conversation every couple needs to have a little bit as well.
I mean, I'm gleaning that, like, because he's like, they're like, I know she did not realize it was an AI image, meaning that I'm interpreting that as she would not have bought it if she knew, but maybe that's me reading too much into it.
I would keep wearing it. I would keep wearing it. And then I would organically bring it up. I'd be like, hey, did you ever notice that this squirrel has like a few too many legs on it? Like I would bring it up like organically. I'd be like, hang on a second. Have you noticed that this squirrel's got an extra leg? What do you think about that? Where did you buy this?
The next time you're facing a mirror together, like brushing your teeth or something, be like, wait, huh, what?
Wait a second.
That is actually on. You could do that for sure. I think that's one methodology. Another one is just being like
anti-confrontation coward method.
Yeah, being like, oh yeah, you could do that. Like, look. Whoa! I would just say something, but honestly, I would just I would just tell them the truth. Because it's in our household, lying is a sin. I don't know. Obviously, you should always be honest with your partner. And I think, you can bring it up. I think pretending to notice in the moment is a tactful way to bring it up. I'm not a tactful person. I'm just more of a blunt person. So I would just say, hey, I gotta tell you something. It's not a big deal, but like this, I noticed this is AI art. I just don't really want to wear it out because I don't want people thinking I support AI art. I think this might be relegated more to like an inside shirt. I'm sorry. Like, I know, I thought it was really cool. Yeah. I was rocking it all the time, and just kind of be real about it. And I think, obviously, again, you have to know your partner and how they want like that kind of news delivered. Like we have a code word for when we want to say something, but it's not like actually that deep. Like no one's dead or hurt. And we say, hey, wee woo. Like it's not, even though that's kind of the opposite because it sounds like a siren, but we're like, oh, it's not
is it really wee woo?
That's what we say. Yeah, we say wee woo. Do you have the same thing that you say to your partner? I'm scared.
No, I love that.
That's really cute.
Yeah. We'll say, hey,
it's a very cute word. You just say
and
very
then it's
flat.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, the milk is expired, so we can't have cereal today. Versus like, hey, my leg is falling off when you go to the hospital. Because, I'm a very anxious person. So like whenever there's like something gets brought up, but you don't know what it is yet. There's always like, oh my God, I thought something bad happened.
Smart.
Yeah.
So we just have that system in place. So this would be a, hey, my squirrel has an extra leg, and I don't like AI art, so I'm only gonna sleep in the sweater now. But I do appreciate it, and I'm sure they, if you guys have the same feelings about the AI art thing, they will probably also be kind of like a little horrified, a little embarrassed about it. So, and obviously, I'm sure everyone wants to save their partner from feeling bad about that kind of thing. But I would probably mention it because I wouldn't want to wear an AI shirt outside and have people think I like
So if you have
AI
a
art.
backbone, do what Janet said. If you're a dirty coward, do what
what I
Kelsey
do.
and Sarah said. And pretend you didn't notice.
The result's the same, It doesn't really matter too much.
I think I'm with Janet on this though, honestly, because it's they start with one of the gifts I received. Like, this was not the only gift.
That's
so like it can still be like you knocked it out of the park with 4 out of 5 gifts or whatever. And yeah, you just start with the like, hey, like, I love squirrels. You remembered that. It's really sweet that you remembered that I love squirrels or whatever. But yeah, wee woo. And definitely say it with the wee woo.
It's now one of my favorite pajama shirts, which is a great backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
A solid backup situation.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do more of these ping pals today, except that Haley has a fun surprise for us. So we're going to do that
Swap.
instead of taking one more question.
And
We'll probably
this-
do more questions next week.
And you're not answering that question to answer several of mine, because I have drafted
Ooh.
a very fun quiz for you all to take. Wow, bow, bow, bow. Let me show my screen, and you will all get to do the quiz at the same time. All right, beautiful listeners, I have drafted
I love
here.
this song.
I have drafted here valid or vile, which is my take on
Strong start.
a romance quiz. I have drafted a certain number of questions for my co-hosts here to look at and answer. Depending on your answer, you will either be valid or vile. I've tried to have a variety of different questions here. I've taken the time in the back end of this quiz to connect the answers to the personality type, so to speak, at the end, which is valid or vile. And I'm very curious to see where you all land.
Wait, so we
I'm
get
very
like
excited
rated
about
on our taste?
You do, in
Yeah.
fact, get read on your taste. I will be going through the
That's
quiz
fantastic.
in the video here so you guys can see the questions, but I will be asking all of you to out loud admit your answers and be embarrassed. Are we ready?
Yes.
Question
Ready.
number 1. Which hero shooter has the most hotties? A. Overwatch. B. Valorant. C. Marvel Rivals. Or D. Concord. Guess which one is the vile take. This is an easy one.
My issue here is I feel like the girls are all more attractive. Like Marvel Rivals, I like the women so much better than men. Valorant, same thing. Overwatch, same
Yeah.
thing.
I feel like picking Marvel Rivals is kind of like picking the quarterback in high school, It's like
Yeah.
That's valid.
like, of course, like they're
But
superheroes.
Squirrel Girl
Duh,
is
they're hot.
really cute.
She is really cute.
Yeah.
Invisible Woman, who just got added, is
Invisible
the
Woman.
so snatched. It's insane.
Okay,
She could
that's
look
it.
like
You
anything.
convinced
How
me.
would you
I'm
know?
going
You
Marvel
can't see her.
Rivals. I'm going
I
Marvel
had to.
Rivals.
I feel
I'm
like
locked in.
a fake gamer because I searched Valorant characters and I just had to quickly decide do I think they're hot?
I did that too. It's okay. I've never played Valorant.
I
What
think
about
I'm going
no one's
with
talking
Valorant.
about Concord?
I
That's kind of
think.
weird. Why is it?
That seems like a vile one.
That's so weird.
Why would you think this is the vile one? That's crazy. This is definitely the valid one, and you guys are just getting mixed up.
I think
Yeah.
Concord just has too many people with skin conditions. like there's too many like scalies, and you know what I mean?
You talk about it as
Kelsey,
if it's
that's
still alive.
super offensive.
People who had skin conditions.
No, I feel you. It's a lot of like not anthropomorphic, but it's too out there.
The hotties are good in Concord, but also there's a lot of just like there's a guy who's just like a mushroom and stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is like that's true in Overwatch too. Overwatch just has way more characters, so you can kind of like pretend those ones aren't there because they get lost in the sauce more.
Yeah.
But in Concord, it's like, well, you know, they didn't really have a chance to make more characters.
And this is Overwatch
so.
original, right, Haley? We're not considering Overwatch 2 here.
This is Overwatch original in my brain, yeah.
'Cause I feel like they added a lot of the thirst bait in Overwatch 2.
They did.
Like,
Yeah, probably. I feel like Overwatch though is the OG thirst multiplayer. I'm going Valorant though. I want to be trendier. Marvel Rivals just feels like superheroes are hot. Like anyone could have figured that out. You know, I don't know.
I
Then it's
chose
less hot.
I chose Overwatch.
So obviously hot.
All right, so
I'm also going
Oh,
Overwatch.
you Overwatch? That's wild.
That's crazy.
So Janet was Valorant, and Sarah, are you ending on Marvel Rivals? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay, noted. Question number 2. Did you have a crush on Sora when you were little? Yes, a little, no, you got no.
I'm upset that
Where's
I actually had a crush on Riku.
Yes, yes.
Where's the Riku option?
That sounds like a no then. That's the Riku
I'm going
option.
no also.
I had
really know
such
Sora
a
when I
crush
was
on
little.
Riku.
Yeah.
Interesting
Riku's the-
responses.
Yeah.
All right, so we have
he's
three no's. Any
I said
you
no.
God knows?
I said no.
No, you God
When he
knows.
turns into Roxas, it's not that bad.
That's interesting. I'll say a
When
little.
wait, hold on. Wait.
All right, this is
Interesting,
a telling one.
interesting.
Which Pokemon would you
Okay.
most want to hook up with? Charizard,
Oh my god.
Lucario, Lopunny, or Mewtwo?
Okay.
This is just asking what our
I'm
sexuality
all in
is.
on Lucario. He feels like a real gentleman.
Right?
That
Yeah.
feels actually really valid
Swap.
because I'm between Lucario and Lopunny, which is I feel like this is actually a sexuality review. What
But
is
like
this?
Lucario and Mewtwo are the only two here that can talk.
Lucario
Right?
does not talk.
I'm not even thinking
know,
about
but
He
that.
talks in one of the movies.
He says Lucario.
No, he talks in one of the movies.
What does he
He's got
say?
a really deep, attractive
So,
voice.
I need to look this up after the call.
I resent this question, but I'm going to play the game because that's what I was asked here to do today at this Chili's. So I'm going Lucario.
right.
He's kind. He's like, is he tall? He's actually probably short. But they made him real for a reason. The Pokemon Company said, "Don't you want a nice goth boyfriend?"
They cooked
That's
with
Lucario.
him. That's the best. One
So I'm
of the
going
best
with
designs
Lucario.
in decades.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
cook.
and then
Well,
Lopunny. Like,
no
this is
love
the
to
hot and out
Charizard.
way again.
It's been silent.
Okay,
Hell
I'll
no.
I'll go Charizard. Charizard is like the
Interesting.
boyfriend you have in high school that you know it's not going to work out with. He's like probably going to get a dead end job. He's going to be a line cook forever.
Oh no.
But he
That
is
so
cute.
true.
And I'm picking Mewtwo because of
Yeah.
his thighs and fingers. Mewtwo.
Yuck. That's
Okay,
gonna be the vile choice, but you made the quiz, so I don't know if you were honest.
this one took the longest to code, I say, but like come
This
up with
is
the
insane.
responses.
This is really cool. I love this. I love this.
This is match the hottie to the date night. We have 4 hotties. We have 4 date nights. There are so many multiple combos, so I'm really curious how this.
Can you list out for the listeners?
can you-
Can you
Of
list out
course.
the hotties and the dates?
What we're looking at, yeah.
Hottie, we got Bowser, Arthur Morgan, a specific picture of Geralt shirtless, which I did on purpose, and and Sephiroth. Date nights.
Okay.
A romantic dinner by candlelight, a movie, and then a romantic walk. Netflix and chill or game night in. Where are we matching?
This is so tough.
This is really hard.
Tough.
Can we talk strategy for a second? What are people thinking for strategy? I'm thinking process of elimination is going to be the way to go here.
Yeah.
And I kind of was thinking of that game night in. That feels like a very, it's like, I don't really
Wait.
like this person like this, maybe.
You're not
Put it
doing
back up.
game night with Sephiroth. Like, that's just not.
No. At first I thought Bowser, but I feel like he'd be a sore loser. So now I'm thinking maybe a time where we don't have to talk. So maybe like, see the movie, but then it has the movie with the romantic walk. Like, I don't think I want to talk to Bowser. I think Bowser's more of like,
I literally was
A
thinking that
bud?
too. I was like, Bowser maybe for the movie and the walk.
yeah,
it's
but I
a
don't want to
romantic
short
walk.
Walk to the car so I can get out.
Would he walk too slow? Because then I was thinking romantic dinner by candlelight, but like, is he a good conversationalist?
No,
not.
but
I
the
don't
food is good,
know.
so you don't have to talk because you're just eating. How long's this walk, Haley? Can we get more information
It's
on
like,
this?
you know, after a movie when it's like you walk down by the waterfront for a little bit, like 30 minutes.
Oh, I don't want to be with him.
And then you go back
30
to
minutes!
yeah, 30 minutes, and then you go back to the cars. Out, you split
You know
up and
what?
go back to your cars.
I think Bowser in the walk because, like, I feel like on the walk maybe we get like an ice cream, like a sweet treat. Like, I just feel like the less we
Yeah.
can talk, and the
Poor
quicker we can kind of like
Bowser.
You've
shift
been
into
quiet.
activities.
Are you done? Did you finish already over there?
Bowser, you could also, like, on that walk, you could
She was processing.
you could get, like, you could maybe start, like, make it a little game with him, be like, oh, I'll race you to that tree or something, and then he'd be into that. You'd get the walk
Your
done
little
faster.
brothering him?
Yeah. I think a
Come on,
little
Slugger, I'll race you to the tree. Runs away.
Maybe
reveals.
maybe it would be surprising. Maybe I'd end up having fun with that. He'd be a better conversationalist than I thought he was. But that's a good, like, you know, are we having fun? Are we, how's the conversation flowing, you know?
Yeah. He's
I'm
getting like
doing
a high five
romantic
and a
dinner,
goodbye.
Arthur Morgan, because I want to
Yeah.
talk to him.
The
And he would look really
conversations, yeah.
good in the candlelight.
See,
I feel.
I would agree with that.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
I would agree with that.
That seems like a good one. I'm gonna steal that
Movie
one. I
and
think
walk,
that's the right
we'll
move.
do Bowser.
Interesting.
Wait,
Yeah.
we can't all
Although
do
I
the
hope
same
the
ones.
walk.
Yeah, you
Well,
don't have
I'm
to
not.
agree. You don't have to agree. Whatever you feel like choosing.
This is just good logic, though. Wait,
I know,
like
but yeah,
lore-
I'm,
can I get a
I'm
lore
being talked
check
into
on?
it.
Can I get a lore check on Geralt? So
Yeah.
I didn't play the Witcher games.
Geralt
or The
tonight,
Witcher 3,
game
whatever.
night in, we're playing Gwent.
Here's the thing, though.
And then
Good call.
Netflix and chill. It's me and Sephiroth because I don't really want to hear him talk about his mother Genova, but I know what I'm there for, and it's Netflix and chill.
Interesting. Interesting. I like all the reasonings. What's your lore check on
Probably.
Geralt? What did you
Yeah,
want to know?
he's like a cajillion years old or something, right? Is that true? Like, what's up with him?
That's
How
not a
old is
deal
this man?
breaker.
He's
I didn't say
pretty
it
old.
was. I didn't say it was. I just
Conversation,
want to
then.
know. You know, like I just wanted to know what was going on. Is he immortal? Like I don't remember what's his vibe. Like what's going on?
He's
Is he a Witcher?
superhumanly strong and he's absolutely ripped. He's a gorgeous man. He's extremely stoic, but he has a little bit of charm. He has a little wink in his eye, a little twinkle. That's what Geralt's like.
This is
He's
tough.
really stoic.
I specifically
So-
picked this picture because I thought he would be. I did a thirst trap with him a little bit to make it a little harder.
It's kind of working, honestly. Now I
It
gotta
worked,
go back
but I
and-
didn't know who I wanted for my Netflix and chill. I was conflicted.
Interesting.
What's talking to him like? Does he have like good stories? Maybe I'll put him with
Oh, he's been
dinner
everywhere.
instead.
He's been everywhere. He's done everything.
the. You know what? I am gonna pivot. I'm gonna put Geralt with the romantic dinner by candlelight.
Interesting.
Arthur Morgan, I feel like he kind of gives like mansplainer to me a little bit. Like, I don't know. He
my.
kind of like he knows stuff, but maybe he know a little too much. Like, I don't know. So I think maybe game night with him because it's
Okay.
like he knows poker and all those games he's playing by the campfire and all that. We could play some Balatro. I want to see him play Balatro. So
Oh, Arthur Morgan.
I'm gonna put him on
Blatcher.
that.
Cute.
Sephiroth, you already know what it is. This on Netflix and chill. Same deal as Sarah. Hot man. You don't want to talk to him. Also, super curious what his go-to Netflix thing is for that.
Interesting.
You know,
It's
maybe
probably
mess
some, like,
around and we just
nature
watch a
documentary.
yeah.
of
Maybe you know what?
orcas
Maybe get a
killing
good
sharks.
maybe get a good doc out of it. You know, maybe get educated. All right. Either way, I'm leaving here with something with Sephiroth. So I'm going with the Netflix and chill. I also think Geralt would have good taste in what would he order. I think he knows. Food like that.
I love how
Arthur
deep
Morgan?
y'all are reading into this.
Arthur
He's lived forever,
Morgan?
so he must
He's
know
like,
food.
do they have chicken tenders on here? No. Pick up the controller. Pick up the sticks, Arthur.
Good
That's-
man.
He's a good man.
Yeah. Boom.
Kelsey,
Done.
where'd you end up with your
Okay.
slots?
So I'm thinking romantic dinner with Arthur Morgan because he's the one I want to actually date.
Fair.
And then Gerald, the Netflix and chill.
Valid.
Nice.
Because I know he's got a little bit of a charm and stuff to him. I also haven't played The Witcher, so this isn't fair. But I'm just going off the thirst trap and that you're calling him stoic.
I gotcha.
I don't want to have like a serious conversation, you know. And then similar with Sephiroth, like we're just gonna watch a movie and then we can do the romantic walk because I feel like he could pull off the like romance part, just not the like regular conversation part.
I think I might agree exactly with you, Kelsey, from a personal standpoint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, and
Bowser's
then
game
Bowser-
night in, little brother
Which
mode.
I'm still not like wild about, but I think it works.
He could prove you wrong. There's a little bit of an opportunity for
He
him
could prove me wrong.
to prove
I
you
believe
wrong.
that.
Like you'd set up the night being like, I'm not gonna hook up with him, and then if he's really fun and he's kind of doing everything right, it's like maybe this could turn into something. Whereas Netflix and chill is like there's a whole other vibe there compared to game night in.
Yeah.
There's a passivity here where
Exactly.
more could happen, whereas there has to be some active thought in the games where it pushes away the opportunity for things to happen. Arthur Morgan is the hottest man on planet Earth that doesn't exist. I would want to have romantic dinner by candlelight with him. Geralt, I specifically thirst trap myself, so I would Netflix and chill with him. Sorry, I get this. Sephiroth's hot as hell, but I don't really want to talk to him, so I'd have a movie and romantic walk.
I think it's so valid. No one wants to talk to him.
No. So that's how I would play it out. All right, next question. I love that one question took 10 minutes.
It
was
lot
a
to
really
think
good
about.
question.
Best video game song to make out
Oh,
to. We got Coconut
it's
Mall.
gotta be simple and clean.
Simple and
Like,
clean,
if we're gonna-
exactly.
That was so
we can't
quick.
make out to
Yeah.
Escape from the City. I'm gonna sing it. Like, what do you mean?
Coconut
I'll
Mall,
be
Mario
singing
Kart,
it.
Simple and Clean, Kingdom Hearts, Megalovania from Undertale, Escape from the City, Sonic Adventure 2.
Megalovania, I feel like would end dangerously.
It would end it with a pregnancy.
Because that's like a really fast song.
That's what that would
I feel like
end
I'd get confused.
That's valid.
Yuck.
Coconut Mall is giving Uber's here in 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's what that
I
gave
think-
to me.
I think Escape from the City could get you like into the like that could be like the fun thing you're like both singing together and then you're like, wait, I think we're gonna make out now, but it can't be playing while you're making out.
I like that better.
Like
So the
you're both
music
singing
has
and
to
then you look
pause.
at each other.
As soon as lip touch, you just pause the music or it switches to a different
Well,
track.
maybe we just wait for the song to end, but like, yeah.
Interesting.
Does that count though? Because I don't want it on.
That's not what the question says.
I
But
know, yeah, it doesn't
We'll
count.
take your interpretation for it.
Yeah.
Am I crazy that I want Megalovania?
A
Yes.
little bit.
I mean, I feel like that fits with you picking Mewtwo. Yeah. You have like a certain chaotic je ne sais quoi about you that.
Genocide
Are
Run.
you like having? Are you having like a competition in there? Like
Yeah.
what do you? What do your make out sections look like?
They're fantastic.
Aggressive?
They're aggressive and amazing. I'm going with Megalovania.
That's crazy to me.
And
That is crazy. I think it has to be simple and clean. I agree with
Simple
Sarah.
and
It's simple and
Clean.
plain, yeah.
all three? Yes. Well, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Buying a waifu pillow is a totally normal thing for a person to do. True? False? Prefer not to answer, aka you own one. What's a waifu pillow? Be honest. You have to be honest. You have to
I
be
feel like it
true.
depends
I gotta
on
go
what's on it.
false. I hate to be
It's gotta
judgy.
depend
Sorry.
what's on it. Is it a jokey one or is that like
There's
a real
no
person?
such thing as a jokey waifu pillow. If you bought one, it's not
That's
a joke
true.
anymore.
That's so true.
I think I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. It's just you trying to make it seem like a joke so you can buy
Yeah.
it.
Like, wouldn't this be hilarious if I had this? Wouldn't it be funny if I locked my door? It's like, I don't know. Like, I would just be like, I don't need to joke anymore. Yeah. I'm going false, even though it makes me seem judgy. Yeah. I think it's a little. It's not a good flag to me. That's just to me. That's just how
not a
I
good
how I
flag.
get down or how I don't get down. Yeah, no.
Look,
not
here's
my,
the
not my
thing.
bag.
I don't think it's
I'll
a
overlook
normal
anything, though,
person
you know?
for a thing. I don't think it's a normal thing for a person to do, but I also don't think it like that's not like the weirdest thing anyone could ever do.
There's
you
true
know,
weirder
like
things, of course.
There's
Yeah.
levels.
so normal, false, I think, but not insane.
I would
Sarah's
go
officially
false too,
quiet.
but no judgment for waifu pillow
Look, yeah,
owners.
no judgment. We're not
Yeah.
normal either.
Yeah.
I picked
Oh.
Charizard, man.
I just
find your
talked
fellow
about
waifu
Mewtwo.
pillow lover and make them kiss?
And then have a foursome with the pillow.
For some
God.
Ben asked us what our rating was today. We're gonna have to
False.
up it now.
I know. I'm sorry. This is who I am. False. Your video game crush knocks on your door. Oh my God! He's hiding something behind his back.
It's a gun.
What is the absolutely best thing he could reveal to you? We've got some options here. Flowers and candy. The stream isn't showing the drop-down menu. That's a little weird.
Oh,
but
that's too bad.
That's too bad.
These are great options.
It's flowers and candy. Basic. A reservation from a tattoo place so you can get a tattoo of him anywhere on your body you want.
Lady's choice is what it says.
A cast of blank for when you miss him. A new pet for the two of you to raise together. Oh my God, commitment move.
These are so scary. Why do you make this?
What's the best thing?
Why did I think it was gonna be like food?
Yeah. I'm going flowers and candy because I am scared.
Chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. More like vanilla or vile, I guess. I'm going to go vanilla with this. I don't want the rest of the smoke. I don't want the smoke. I want a
want the
regular,
smoke.
regular day. Yeah.
You
I'm gonna
could
go
think
with the pet.
interesting.
Go with the pet.
Can I
Yeah.
assume with the pet that we're
too.
also moving in together?
It could be like he's at your house and maybe you're in the in-between phase of him moving in or something. You know, like he comes over a lot and the pet's his too, but he hasn't quite moved in yet. Might be that vibe. Maybe in the next 3 months he might be moving in.
Communication is sexy, and the last 3 don't have any. These are all like. These are very presumptuous.
Wait, okay, Haley, which one are you picking?
Number 3.
Interesting.
Which I'm not going to reread
Me
again.
too.
I don't.
Oh man.
Janet, I feel bad too. I don't want to pick the boring
Maybe
choice.
it's good that this isn't showing up on the stream because we can be a bit coy about it.
I wish if they were all chaotic, I would play ball, but when given the option to be dull,
I shouldn't have
I'ma
given you
take
that.
it.
I shouldn't have given you that.
You shouldn't have.
Flowers and candy.
you should have only made it like chaotic and then I would have danced, but you gave me a way to sit down.
Do I have to get a tattoo of him, or can it be a tattoo that like represents us?
it's of
Because then
him.
I'd do that.
I will allow it.
Okay,
Yeah, it can be
that's
a
a
tattoo.
little less insane.
And you
It's
also
like,
get to pick anywhere you want on your body too. He's not weird about like it has to be
I'm
on
gonna keep
your
it weird.
leg
Yeah.
or whatever.
You keep saying that like it implies there's like a correct place to put this. That's like, and I don't actually know what that is. I don't know what the joke is.
I don't have an implication. I just thought it was funny to write anywhere you want, ladies' choice. I just thought that was dumb.
I do like the anyway you want, ladies' choice.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I really want to get a tattoo, so maybe I'll pick that. Oh, it went to the next screen really fast. What do y'all
All right.
pick for that last one? You want
Can you read
flowers
that?
and
Can you read
candy?
the question?
Flowers and candy.
No, I'll do the tattoo.
Tattoo.
Oh, I did the pet.
pet,
I did flowers and candy, yeah.
and he gives you something special for when you miss him. I won't elaborate.
Oh my god.
Question number 8. Where would Cloud Strife have to propose to you where you were most likely to say yes? That's the question, all right? It's not what's the best place, what's the most likely to say yes. And I give examples, whether because you want the moment to be over quickly or you actually want to marry him. Because it's like goes both ways. So this helps everybody here. All right, so this isn't really... Oh, there we go. I can go down a little bit. In front of your whole family after a family event. Let that sink in.
No.
At a baseball game on the big screen. Let that sink in. In the mall after a flash mob he organized.
God, no.
Not Strife organizing a flash mob is the funniest mental picture.
He totally would too, though, based on Rebirth, I think.
And then this one, at a movie theater after you paid someone to play a trailer of your life together and you turn around and all your friends and family are in the audience too.
I like that
Okay,
one.
I'm going.
You like it when you would
Trailer.
say yes because you want to marry him? Because
To
that's
be
not
honest,
the question,
I would
Sarah.
say yes if Cloud Stripe asked me to marry him in like a dirty alleyway. What are we talking about here?
You would say, okay, so you're that. So for you, the question is which way is the nicest? Perhaps for other
Yeah.
people, it would
Yeah.
be which way is the quickest way the hell out of here? Which is why I liked this question. It had 2 angles.
What if we're all down to marry Cloud Strife, though?
Then it's just which way is nice.
I don't want to marry Cloud Strife. He's
Love that someone doesn't want to.
But
Okay.
I mean, he's good looking, but it's like, oh my god, snooze, and he's always just standing around like he's got a bad attitude, and he's not as hot as Sephiroth. You should at least be hotter if you have a bad attitude. I'm going with the baseball game on the big screen. I used to be very anti the whole like, I'm like, I don't know, it's like on the big screen, it's kind of like kind of whack. I don't know, but now that I am a little bit more into sports, like especially live sports, I'm like, actually, this could be kind of fun because it's like you're having a good time. You're outside, you're eating, you're drinking, you're hanging out. You're playing the little games in between things. And also, depending on what stadium it is, pretty penny. And now money's not everything, but it's like, okay, like it is definitely, it's not cheap to get up there. So, then everyone cheers for you. It's like you have the vibes of like you get a lot of attention, but it's not like from your family. And also, it's not like you have to do anything afterwards. Like all these strangers who are like clapping for you, they're not going to be like, so what are you guys thinking for the whatever? It's like very quick. Maybe someone like buys you something in the spur of the moment, the vibes, It's like, yeah,
And
I
they're
think
gonna
it's
forget because they're at like a baseball game, so there's
Yes.
immediately something to distract them.
True.
And nobody cares. Nobody
Exactly. It's a
likes
good,
those,
fun,
nobody likes it.
quick thing. So
a
I'm
good
gonna go with that. I've warmed up to that. Years ago, I would have been like, that's like one of the worst ways. Now I'm like, it's it's kind of public, but it's kind of private. It's like, kind of just got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going with
Sounds like
baseball,
you've really
baseball
grown
game.
up, Janet. Sounds like you're really grown
I've
up.
matured. Yeah.
Matured. See, my thought
Big Bang
was
Theory is good, actually. I take it back.
full circle back to the Big Bang Theory. My thought was the worst because I don't want to marry Cloud Strife. Beautiful man. I'm not into the
Exactly. Yeah. Me neither. Yeah.
like he's always just like
Are we
speak up.
insinuating that there's other
what?
people on the table? Like, is Sephiroth in this universe too?
No, it's just like you happen to be dating Cloud for a while and now he's proposing. I guess it's like, do you want out of the relationship or would you say yes? It's kind of the vibe. So I would want this done with. And in my mind, it would be in the mall after a flash mob because those people put in work. They were there and they had to learn the choreo with him. They had to exercise and do the actual work in front of you. They're waiting with bated breath at that point. If you were to say no, they're like, why the hell did I learn this choreo? Right? It's like now you're letting him and also a crowd down. So that was my thought is like, I'd be like, yes, 1,000 times yes. And they go, yippee, it was worth it. And then they'd all drive home and I go, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'd say no on the drive home. So at least those people
feel
are
like-
fine about it.
You could totally say the same thing about the baseball game, though. Like, that's
true.
I'm sure every time someone says yes, like, there's probably a ton of those times where they're like, yes, and everyone cheers and everything, and then they're like, yeah, what? I did not want a public proposal. What's wrong with you? We haven't talked about this.
Yes. But they didn't have to exercise any cardio when they forget about it.
True. It's true. But they're drunk.
But they're drunk, which is a good thing. All right. Next up. One's a bit of a long description, but I hope you'll hang in there with me.
I like the role play of this.
Yeah.
You get invited to a Nintendo party, and all the coolest Nintendo characters are there. Peach and Daisy are giving you mean girl energy, and suddenly they force you to do 7 minutes in heaven with a random partner. As you
This
wait,
feels like the quizzes I would take in like middle school, and it'd be like a Naruto
so
like
good.
self-insert quiz.
as you wait in the closet, a shadowy figure comes in and wraps his arms around you. After seven beautiful minutes, the door whips open to the whole party staring in at you with a mystery figure. You go to see who it was. Who would you be least upset to see beside you? We got Boo, Shy Guy, Dry Bones, and Agumba. So this
Boo.
is not just you made out with him, but also everyone just saw you guys making out. Boo? Interesting.
Is it King Boo or is it just
Dry
a
Bones.
Boo?
It's just a Boo.
I'm going
Basic
Dry Bones.
Boo. Dry Bones.
I was thinking Dry Bones also, yeah.
Why
Really?
Dry Bones? I see. I don't get that one.
I don't know. He's
like
the
a chill
most
guy,
like,
like-
regularly. It's the kind of human shaped. He's the most human shaped thing. So it's like familiar territory.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, everybody at the party is, like, kind of chill with Dry Bones. Like, he's not really anyone's enemy. He's, like, you know, he's certainly not, like, center of attention or anything, but he's, like, he cracks a joke every once in a while. He's, like, a cool guy.
Yeah.
No one's
Also,
like,
I wanna
oh my
see-
god, you with him?
Maybe he'll like do that thing where he like falls apart. That's kind of fascinating. You know what I mean? Like
Kind of hot.
it's like, whoa, what's going on there? So
He'll do the thing where he falls apart. I'd be into
Yeah.
that. I'd be into
he
that.
builds back up. It's like you don't know
And
what he's
he
bringing to the table.
reanimates. He's like,
Yeah,
your kiss
he's-
brought me back to life. Yeah.
He's a mystery man.
That'd be kinda
Well,
cute.
Shy
Okay,
Guy,
since
it's
it's
like,
not-
what's under
Since
there?
it's not
I'm
King
scared.
Boo. Yeah, but since it's
know?
not King Boo, I'm switching to Shy Guy because like you don't know what's under there.
He's just a shy
What
guy.
if he's really
yeah.
hot?
He
He's
might
like,
And I
I'm
like
so
his way
scared
he
of how
goes
hot
like,
I am.
"Meow."
It's kind of
Shy
like
Guy face reveal.
like marshmallow.
Okay.
Or like all
Mask
those
talk,
DJs with
you
the
know?
masks on. Yeah.
He is kind of mask talk. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go Shy
He's
Guy.
had that going for him. Yeah.
Shy Guy.
Shy Guy's a good,
I just
a good,
assume-
a good runner up.
I assume that if he's under the mask, it's because he's not attractive. He's hiding.
He's shy, Kelsey. He's shy,
shy.
not ugly.
He's Shy
It's
Guy.
in the name. It's not ugly guy. It's shy guy.
Okay. I'm going to go Boo.
Cover.
I'm going to go Boo, I think. Because I just...
Why?
He's a bigger guy. I like a thick king.
He's nice and round. Yeah. That's a good pick too.
And he's
soft.
Like, he can float kind of near my
SAWFT.
face. Whereas I'd have,
soft.
yes, and I'd have to pick up Shy Guy and kind of go like into my arms, and that wouldn't be fun.
But wait. Question though, with Boo,
guess-
when you look at him, he hides.
Outside the
so like, how's that
closet.
work?
We're in the
When
closet.
closet
Dark.
is off for a game.
It's my
But when you
one
come out, he's
time.
immediately gonna look away from you and cry.
It'd be kind of cute. He'd be like shy, like kind of like oh.
He's the shy guy, really.
And
Actually,
like he's sensitive. It would be kind of cute.
He's gonna do that laugh. Oh, like I don't know. I don't want to hear that.
Or however it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind
No
of cute.
Goomba love. Rough day for Goomba.
Goomba is I'm sorry, he's the bulldog of Mario characters. He's
Yeah.
he's ugly. He's got nothing going for him. He was put on. This is the vile choice. Spoiler alert. That's the most vile. That gets you the most vile points if you pick him.
No, the vile alignment. Oh no.
All right, so we're going to the last question, but don't click on until we're finally finishing up because I
Okay.
want all of us to go to the final page at the same time. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Can't lie on this one. Pinky swear. Have you ever had a sneaky dream about a video game character? You have to pinky swear.
The ratings really did go up on this episode. It's wild.
Pinky swear.
Mine's no, which Scout's honor. That actually is true. I don't really have a lot of dreams like that. My dreams are more kind of like on the horrific end, It's like random traumas happening. It's like I dreamed that you were dead and I didn't know what to do, and then it's like that's kind of my vibe for dreams.
Oh no.
I dream how I live, stressful,
Yeah.
So that's my bag.
All right, don't click it yet, but okay, noted. That'll get you some valid points.
Oh, thank you.
Good for you.
A little bit of trauma.
Kelsey, Sarah?
No, I'm genuinely trying to think. I have had dreams where video game characters are in them, and we might even be implied dating, but not anything further than that.
Nothing ever goes past
No,
high
nothing's
school
ever
vibes.
happened. Yeah.
Romantic candlelight dinner only. Yeah,
So
I feel you.
I think that's a no. I pinky swear.
All right, Pinky swear. Sarah?
Mine's also a no, but in like a disappointed no.
Oh my god.
It's disappointing.
I'm
if,
so
if I could, I would. If I could, I would.
I'm so disappointed.
Teach me how to lucid
I'm sorry.
dream.
I know, lucid dream. My stuff on Netflix and chill.
Oh man. I had one this week.
What?
Tell us.
Whoa.
It was Kiryu.
Oh,
I know. It was great.
damn it.
Anyways, my answer is yes. All right, are we ready to
Wow,
click?
I feel like this was just
Yes.
to brag. This was just to brag about your
I wanted
lucid
a
dreaming.
dream.
It wasn't
player.
lucid. It happened consciously. I didn't make it happen. That's just my brain. I don't know what to say. I'm playing Yakuza 0.
What the hell?
And he's fine as hell in that game. I don't know what to tell you. All right, are we ready? 1, 2,
If I
3.
get vile.
Yep.
Why is mine
Ooh.
kind of valid?
I got
I'm
kind of
Okay.
valid.
Where did I go wrong?
Okay, I got questionable taste. So I'm a lower tier than you guys. All right, what
Respect it.
does your thing say for kind of valid?
It says, "Hey, you know what? We can't all be perfect, but your tastes are good enough that I'd probably listen to you for boy advice. I might not take your advice, but I'd listen to it."
That's
honestly a
valid.
good spot to be at.
Kind of valid. Mine is, you okay, girl? I keep seeing you look at that ogre across the bar. I guess he's kind of cute, but why is that your first choice?
Nice.
Can we read the other responses? The other
Let me figure out how to do that. Let me switch back to the main screen, but I will say
This
that
was thrilling to do. Haley, thank you for putting this together.
This is
Of
great.
course.
Thank you, Haley.
I think, okay, so I can just remember. Valid is like, yes, coming to you for all advice moving forward, girl. You are a queen. Slay, love you, kiss, kiss, goodbye, whatever. It was very like, you get your roses, you felt great. Vile, it opens up a link to Amazon to make you buy something. And I won't specify what it is.
Oh my god.
And I'm really upset that no one got Vile, so I can hear your reaction to be like, why did Amazon just open? But that's my game. That was valid.
Thank
and
you.
Game of the
Vile.
year.
Good.
This was a
really
lovely
good.
surprise.
Yeah.
I feel like the ratings are either going to go way up or way down after this episode, and I am excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I've already made a couple notes for Leo to block out some of my question words. So we'll be hopefully PG-13 vibes for that one. Apologies if we're a bit higher.
PG-15.
There should be a Peggy 15. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Peggy 15.
We're Peggy 15.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, well, I think that's our episode. Thank you all for listening to our second ever episode of Pew Pew Bang. Yes, that's the note we're ending on, Janet.
I didn't say anything.
These lanyards are
Valid.
choking me. I need to take them off.
You can
Yeah,
take them
I'm
off.
sweating.
I'm being choked.
under the weight of these lanyards. Real quick, Janet, where can people find us on the internet?
Yeah, we're at Blue Sky under the handle Pew Pew Bang, and we're on Instagram and TikTok under the handle Pew Pew Bang Pod. So check us out.
Yeah. And then I also want to just make sure we say that we are a MinnMax podcast. Pew Pew Bang is listener supported. You can support MinnMax on Patreon at patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. Find a tier that's right for you. Your support is what allows us to do this. And then also, please continue to give us some feedback. We got some really great feedback on our first episode, and I would love to see some more. What can we do better? How do you guys feel about the format? And then, of course, tell a friend if you've got some girlies in your life or just people who you think that would enjoy this content and want to hang out with us. Please share Pew Pew Bang with them. Is the sleepover over?
I think our parents are coming to pick us up.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mommy. Yuck, sorry. I hate that I said that. My bad, ending it on a weird note. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.
Bye. If you liked this, you can catch more of us on MinnMax's other content like the MinnMax Show podcast, our Unhinged community voted series, New Show Plus, deepest dive game clubs on new and retro games, and a whole lot more. It's all Patreon supported, so if you enjoy the show, please consider checking out those benefits, clicking around to our other shows, or telling a friend about Pew Pew Bang. Thanks a bunch.